Black Power family, let's get this thing rocking. Let's get this thing rolling. We are up for the debate between JJ7000, the people's champ, going up against brother Tahuti. And this should be a good one right here. I know brother Tahuti sleeps on JJ a little bit, you know, underestimating JJ. I don't think he's sleeping on him or underestimating him, but Tahuti is definitely confident that he will walk away with a 3-0 or 2-0 and a clean sweep and send JJ head to bed. So we're going to find out if JJ can hold his own in the big leagues, because he's going up against a heavy hitter. Brother Tahuti is not no lightweight. I don't even know why JJ jumped out the window, but he must know something I don't know, and we're going to find that out real shortly. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome you, brother JJ7000, the people's champ. And we got brother Tahuti in the building, the magician, the philosopher, the comedic scholar. You see what he got behind him? He got Horus and Jesus showing you where it all come from. This shit is going to be crazy right here. And JJ look good. He looking good. So let me break down the rules for my brothers real quick. I'm going to give y'all brothers an opening round. Y'all going to have to open up. Y'all know what I always say. The opening is very important because it lets the people know. You paint the picture on where you're going to go and where you're taking them. And they see the topic of the debate was the Septuagint put together by the what? But the Ptolemies, or the Hebrew Israelites. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. The first round, you got 15 minutes. And JJ, when you finish your, Tahuti, when you finish your first round, JJ gets to rebuttal you for 3 minutes before he get into his 15-minute round. Same thing with round number 2. And if it's going well and y'all want to get on with another round, we can also bring in round number 3. That's optional for y'all. Right after that, we're going to have the cross-examination, which will be 10 minutes to ask a question. You got to allow the person a minute to answer the question. And then we have your closing arguments, and then followed by questions and answers. Are there any questions, gentlemen? Are there any questions, brothers? Y'all can unmute yourself.
I have no question.
All right, let's get ready to rumble, man. Let's get this thing going, man.
Sir.
Oh, so it is questions. What?
Yeah. After this, could I get a trophy with JJ's name on it?
We're going to see how it goes. All right, you gotta go on mute. You got me echoing.
When two cultures collide, which one will stand to liberate community?
First of all, I need to acknowledge why this debate is necessary.
Curse the divine, cast the pearls to swine. Reverse the design, even merge divide. Side net at TV when two worlds collide. Might hurt to decide just who verbs will vibe. When we curve all the job, whether girls or guys. No hurts left alive in this earthly skies. Side at a TV when two worlds collide. Clash of the titans, facts will enlighten. Some spitting mad, but they ain't half as exciting. This platform we battle for the souls of man. Those kidnapped and trapped upon stolen land. Doesn't matter where you at on this earth. Africa's the true origin of your birth. Teaching you true health and wealth, knowledge of self-worth instead of killing your health, going to jail over turf. We all truth seekers asking questions. Should we seek them in the shrine lodge or the lessons? Is the answer ancestral science or religion? Is it freedom or Willie Lynch a little different? Is it Indian, Aboriginal, indigenous people? Should we worship money? Is it still a root of all evil? We all born with mental shackles if we black, and the only thing that's gonna free us is the actual facts. Whose words will survive when we purge the lies? That curse the divine, cast the pearls to swine. Reverse the design, even merge divide. Side net at TV when two worlds collide. Might hurt to decide just who verbs will vibe. When we curve all the job, whether girls or guys. No herbs left alive in this earthly skies. Side at a TV when two worlds collide. Is it the God gods and earths or the Moors? Should we master UCC in commercial law? Is it being Muslim, Christians, or the Jews? Should we push the old school and need something new? Is it atheism, Egyptologists, Hebrew Israelites, flat earthers, herbalists to get our people right? I'm in Rod Squad, RBG, or New Covenant. Should we work for it? Should we overthrow the government? Should we all go for self, being savages and vultures? Pan-African, or is hip-hop our culture? Is it nationality or correct status? Should we integrate Me Too or Black Lives Matter? Should we hit the streets with the Panthers? Unify the gangs? Is all out war the right answer? Are we Asiatic or Arabian? Should we just free Dr. York and be Nawapi and a Sabian? Whose words will survive when we purge the lies? That curse the divine, cast the pearls to swine. Reverse the design, even merge divide. Side net a TV with two worlds collide. Might hurt to decide just who verbs will vibe. When we curve all the jive, whether girls or guys. No birds left alive in this earthly skies. Side net a TV with two worlds collide.
Yo, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm not gonna give it up yet. I'm not gonna say nothing. JJ, don't you say nothing. Cause you know, don't say nothing, JJ. But I'm trying to tell you, when I tell you, brothers and sisters, when you make your donations and I bring to you the best of the best top fighters in the ring, you're going to be surprised. Sarnetta is making his first comeback after the 2 to 3 years layoff of the COVID stuff. We're going to be live. We're going to be going in, and it's going to be open to the public. The debate, I got y'all. JJ, is that debate going to be fire, JJ? Listen to me.
Boy.
Huh? Is it going to be fire?
Somebody going to be in trouble. I know that.
Yo, it's going to be open for the, I mean, we're doing it where the people going to be able to come in again and sit down in seats, live on stage. Okay? And it's going down at the ballroom. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. The Alhambra ballroom. So, man, just listen to what I'm telling you. You're going to appreciate your little $5 that you donate to me. I mean, your big $5 that you be donating to me when you see what's going down. You're going to see it by, I would say, Monday. The flyer should be out. The flyer should be out by Monday. And it's going down April the 2nd. Family, you're going to love it. It's going to be crazy. So without any further ado, Brother Tahuti, you got 3 minutes in your opening round to paint the picture. Let the people know what it is that you are here today to prove today and why you will be victorious in this debate. You got 3 minutes. Time will start when you start.
Okay, so can you hear me?
I'm here.
You ready?
Yes, and I'd like to start also with a screen share.
Okay.
Okay.
Get your screen
share up.
Okay.
Yeah, your mic
get a lot of noise, brother.
I don't know. You know what? Let me put in my actual podcast mic. Maybe that will cut it down. Let's see. Let's see how that will work. Okay, let's Okay. So, how's any difference at all?
That's a lot better.
Okay, great. That's the actual podcast.
Okay.
Mic.
All you got to do is say you ready, and then your screen is up. Just tell me you ready.
Okay. Okay, I am ready.
Your screen is up.
Okay, beautiful. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. Hotep, Anki Ma'at, Un-MS. I live from Ma'at, I exist within her, and my name is Tahuti. I'm in Hotep Ra. Some people are familiar with me, some people are not, but what is most important is not me, but the actual subject matter of the topic. I want everybody to always keep the subject matter in mind. On the screen, you will see the actual subject matter. None of these words will be changed. This topic, debate, discussion is based on these exact words. Was the Septuagint put together by the Ptolemies or the Hebrew? What JJ would need to show and prove is this. He would need historical evidence that a group council of people that called themselves Hebrews gathered the books of Genesis all the way to Malachi, or just the laws, around 287 BC, which is the date of the book that became known as the Septuagint, translated, these Hebrews translated their sacred texts into Greeks and gave it the Greek name Septuagint. JJ would have to explain why, with the primary source, why they, the Hebrews, called it the Septuagint. So again, we're here to establish who put it together. Was it the Ptolemies or the Hebrews? I also want to show how this conversation actually got started. And it was because I simply asked the brother JJ, could you show proof that the Hebrews put this together? I'll play something quickly to show everybody that conversation. The question, appreciate the. Okay. All right, let him answer, brother. Okay, wonderful. So first off, thank you for the question. Appreciate the question. And I'm going to show the answer, and then ask for the same in return from the Hebrew side. Would you say that's fair, JJ?
That would be fair.
So JJ acknowledged that would be fair, and it led to this conversation here.
Calm down, JJ, calm down.
Hold on. One second, please. One second, please. Oh, hello?
I'm making that call to come in.
Oh, no, don't get off. We made an agreement. We made agreements. We made an agreement. The agreement. What is it? We made an agreement. The agreement was, if I showed my source from where the Septuagint was to come from the Greek side, you agreed.
JJ, please, brother. I'm asking you to listen, man. Then you can come up.
You agreed that after I showed that, you would show yours from the Hebrew side. Did you not say that, Senator? Okay. So therefore, if you could, well, I know you're not in the room right now, but could you give us something that we could look up that shows in Hebrews saying where the Septuagint came from?
Okay.
Even acknowledging.
Okay.
So this led to the conversations, and let me take it off of the screen share here. Boom. Where's the screen? Sonnetter. Okay. So this is what started the conversation. I'm not sure what prior conversation JJ had with other people, but our conversation started off by JJ coming in and challenging me with me saying that according to the Greeks, here's where they said the Septuagint came from. Not that I believe it, but it's according to them. And there is no ancient Hebrew story of where the Septuagint came from. The ancient Hebrews do not have any acknowledgement that this actually happened. So this is my what is it? Is that time?
That's time. That's the time.
Okay, no problem.
All right, put your joint on mute when you're not talking, brother.
Okay.
All right, brother JJ. He took 4 minutes in his opening round. You got 4 minutes if you need 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It's on you, my brother, to let me know when you're ready to start. The time will start.
We're going to start right now.
All right, time starts.
Now, see, Tahuti, they don't call him a magician for nothing. All right. Now, the whole basic of this whole conversation was when people was coming on this platform saying Greeks wrote the Bible. Greeks wrote the Old Testament. Greeks wrote the New Testament. So what Tahuti's going to have to show and prove, he's going to have to show me a group of Greek scholars, a group of Greeks, scribes that got together and translated the Hebrew over to Greek. Because he's saying they wrote it. Really, if they wrote it, they wouldn't even need Hebrews. If they wrote it, what they need Hebrews to translate it for? And then you said that was your source, the so-called letter of Aristeas. Let me share my screen, Sarnetta. Let me share my screen with his source real quick. Stop my time. Hold up. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead. All right, sir. All right. this is the letter that he's using, talking about this is his source. A pseudo figure for letter, the pseudo of Aristeas. The so-called letter of Aristeas is a forgery, Tahuti. You cannot bring forgery letters to a debate and say that's your source. This is coming from Josephus of the Antiquities, number 12. It ascribes to Aristeas a letter ascribing the Greek translation of the Old Testament to 76 interpreters sent into Egypt from Jerusalem at the request of the librarian of Alexandria, resulting into the Septuagint Bible. Y'all see what they got right there? And highlighted, it says early psychological analysis proved this letter was a forgery. So but Tahuti, even if you use this letter is saying that Israelites translated the Hebrew into Greek. So either way you go, you don't have nowhere to go. You're gonna have to come to this debate proving Greek scholars sat down and wrote this without any Hebrew help, because that is what you're saying. Now let me get into this a little bit about the Septuagint. Let me stop sharing my screen real quick. All right, what is the Septuagint? Let's explore the truthfulness and reliability of the 66 books of the Bible. You know, the Most High Yah's special revelation. Let's start with the Greek. Yeah, okay, thanks, sir. The Greek translation of the Old Testament, which is commonly referred to as the Septuagint. What is the Septuagint? This is the starting point that we must ask. What is the it? There's a number of ways we can come at this type of question. For most non-specialists, lay people, and even pastors and scholars who have background in biblical studies, they tend to use the term the Septuagint in a very broad way. See, I'm here to straighten that out. I think scholars at least show some recognition when they talking about it. They basically know what they're talking about when they talk about the Septuagint, but don't always clarify themselves in very precise terms. And one of the consequences is that when the scholars read about the Septuagint, things can go unsaid and can lead to assumptions, like what Tahuti's doing with his letter. I can't believe he said that is his source. Because even your letter say Israelites wrote it. So if you're going to use that letter, be my guest. But you're going to get mocked through this whole debate with that letter. But if you ain't going to use that letter, Tahuti, I need to see you bring some Greek scribes, scholars who didn't have no Israelite help, and they wrote this damn Septuagint. How much time I got, sir? 4 seconds. With that being said, let's get this debate going. Oh, I can't hear you, sir. God damn, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, brother Tahuti, I hear you. JJ, mute yourself. Unshare your screen, JJ.
Yep.
And brother Tahuti, you got 15 minutes in your first round. Let me know when you're ready, Tahuti.
Okay. Awesome.
I got you on mute for a minute, Tahuti. For any reason you need me to stop the clock, like JJ said, yo, sir, hold the time for a minute. And I stop the clock till you find what you got to find. Right now, go ahead, Tahuti. You got 15 minutes in this round.
Beautiful. Let me let me do a screen share. This is awesome. Thank you, JJ, for verifying my point. Let me go ahead and do a screen share here. And there we go. Let's see. JJ, my brother fell for the trap. Okay, so
you ready, Tahuti?
Oh yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's coming up. Time starts.
And the only one we have. Do you have a Hebrew source?
Okay. Is it my turn to speak?
It's your turn to show the Hebrews. It's your turn to show the Hebrew source as we agreed.
Okay, hold up, Tahuti, but we got to evaluate what you read there. Now, you should show me, what do you say about motion?
Okay, let us begin. Let us truly begin what is actually happening here. So, my teachings and what I teach the people is that the Septuagint is sourced back to the Ptolemies, and there's no other source that it goes back to. There's no other culture. I'm not claiming the Ptolemies translated anything. I'm not saying the letter of Aristides is true. I'm saying the Ptolemies made this up. This is something that only sources back to the Ptolemies. It doesn't source back anywhere else. Let's take a look at what the actual Septuagint is, okay? So, being composite work, the translation process of the ancient Septuagint has several distinct stages, shifting from Hellenistic Judaism, Christian adopted in the 3rd century BC to 132 BC. The Septuagint derives from the Latin Septuagint Interpretum, translation of the 70 interpreters. Legendary account. It's a legendary account where this came from the pseudepigrapha letter of Aristides to translate the Torah, just the Torah. Now note, the story is only coming from Greek legendary account. The account is from the Greek pseudepigrapha letter of Aristides, who JJ himself admits is a fake letter. This is what I trapped JJ into. He opened up his introduction acknowledging exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying the letter of Aristides is fake. I don't believe in the letter of Aristides. I don't believe in the Ptolemaic story. It's a made up story. What we do know for a historical archaeological fact is that the Septuagint, the LXX, and those books in Greek go back to the Alexandrian Council. The story of how they came to be and who was the actual writer is unknown, but we do know it was put together by the Alexandrian Council because that is the only place it traces to. Also know this account says only the Torah or the Pentateuch was translated, not Genesis to Malachi. Thus again, there is no account of where this entire Bible comes from, by any primary Hebrew source whatsoever. This is the letter of Aristides, which is not what I believe in. But in the letter of Aristides, the Ptolemy asks to write the Torah for me, no other book. I do not believe this story. And I will say this again. I do not believe this story. Why? Because just as JJ says, the letter of Aristides is filled with mistakes. Even in the Associates Biblical Research themselves say the story is unreliable, that it was embellished. The story states there should be a curse placed on anyone that adds to the work, yet we see the Bible full of changes and no curses happening to anybody. Yet the work was only the Torah of Moses was translated according to the story, yet the books within the Septuagint are from Genesis all the way to Malachi. So we can even see amongst biblical believers in their archaeological website, it said it is difficult to know how much credence to give these accounts. There are several known historical inaccuracies in the letter of Aristides. I agree. The letter of Aristides is made up. It's unreliable. I don't believe in it. I don't teach that it ever happened. I teach this is the Ptolemies' made up story to try to combine their made up Bible to divinity. So we see here in the Encyclopedia Britannica, the letter of Aristides, as it says right here, is unreliable. It's from a legend. The biblical research, Associates for Research, it's unreliable. The Septuagint over here in Septuagint.net says it goes back to the letter of Aristides, which is only believed. This story is a believed, unreliable legend. I am knocking out the letter of Aristides. I don't believe in the letter of Aristides. It is called pseudepigrapha, and it is completely unreliable. Okay. Errors in the letter of Aristides. His historical statements about the time of Philadelphus are unreliable. In verse 180 of his letter, he changes Philadelphus to defeat the cause in a victory, to defeat the cause into a victory. He does not know Demetrius was banished on the accession of Philadelphus, nor the letters of marriage. He transplants the philosopher Mendemus arbitrarily to the court of Ptolemies. This letter is full of errors. I don't believe it. What I am saying is this. There are many Europeans that put together books, such as Joseph Smith. Does the book exist? Yes. The book exists. Does the story of Joseph Smith, is it true? No, it is not true. Does the Book of Mormon exist and does it go back to Joseph Smith? Yes. But just like the Septuagint, all of history agrees that the book itself, the actual physical papers itself, trace back to the Ptolemies and Alexandria. That is undisputed in all of archaeological history. Even by biblical believers, Jewish websites, everyone, no one denies that it goes back to Alexandria and to the Ptolemies, as the Book of Mormons and Charles Taze Russell's books trace back to them also. It is the claimed embellished story that follows that is made up to make the book ordained or divinely inspired that is false. If the Ptolemies don't add the 72 elders to their story, it loses divinity, validity, and all research shows that it's legend flawed again. I ask, where is the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew account that must date back to 287 BC, which is the origin date of the Septuagint? Where is the Hebrew account of a group of Hebrews, or as JJ would say, black Hebrews? Because the European ones are fake. Where are the black Hebrews in 287 BC taking a group of books from Genesis to Malachi, putting them together, and then calling it the Septuagint or the LXX? That's the debate topic of which there is no Hebrew indigenous account of. No Hebrew indigenous account of. It is up to JJ to show the Hebrew indigenous account, of which he has none. He agrees the letter is fake. Okay. Again, JJ must show a primary source reference from ancient Hebrew stating themselves that dates to the time of the event, that they, the Hebrews, took their Hebrew books from Genesis to Malachi and turned them into Greek. This would be a major historical event and change in Hebrew a change in Hebrew tradition that could only be permitted by the highest priestly authority, documented authority, and recorded of such an act. I asked JJ repeatedly, where is the ancient Hebrew story of this? And he consistently says, I don't have it right now. We'll see if he has that document today. That is all we should be looking for from him. Anything else is just deflection. Okay, so we have examples of Europeans doing this throughout time, such as the Council of Nicaea, who decided which books would be canon in the Bible, what the belief of Jesus would be. This is one of the many councils that put together, not that they were the scribes. JJ is focusing on who wrote it. In this debate, has nothing to do with the word wrote. It has nothing to do with who wrote anything. It's who put it together. What they want people to believe, ladies and gentlemen, please note the title of this debate, which I will continuously reiterate, is did the Ptolemies put together the Septuagint, or did the Hebrews put it together? We have absolutely no historical record of any Hebrew council putting together anything called the Septuagint. We are waiting to see JJ present a source for such a council and an event in history. Here is an example in the Bible, all throughout the Bible, of councils. When there's important events, things to be written, people to be fought, they have councils. Here are different records of councils. Judah and their council in Psalm 68:27. Now the chief priest and the whole council kept trying to obtain false testimony. There's a council. Matthew 12:14, they held a council. He brought the priests of Levites and gathered them together, but they had commanded them to go aside of the council. As we can see, there are many references in Israelite stories of themselves stating that they hold councils. Where is the first-hand Hebrew account of one of the most important sacred traditional changes, taking holy books of Yah, written in the holy language, Lashon Kadush, for the first time in over 1,000 years of Hebrew tradition, and then changing their sacred books into Greek? Remember, JJ must show the ancient Hebrews themselves saying that they did this before the propaganda letter of Aristes, which caused the people to believe the Greek narrative. So we know for a fact that the letter, the Septuagint, came from the Alexandrian Council and the Ptolemies. Who actually wrote it, the name of the scribe, we don't know, but we do know that it was put together by that council. That is undeniable fact in all historical references. Okay, now we see the oldest Hebrew inscriptions. He claimed to be, so they were looking up the oldest Hebrew inscriptions, and the oldest Hebrew inscriptions go back to 10th century BC. The oldest Hebrew inscriptions. What does this mean? There is no ancient book of Jeremiah. There is no ancient book of Exodus that any group of Hebrews could have translated. There is no ancient book of Deuteronomy that goes back to the time of Moses of 1400 years ago. None of these things exist. None of these things exist. And according to JJ says they copied these ancient books. They copied them. Where did they copy them from when they did not exist? The Bible, the Septuagint, is made up. It is not an archaeological find that goes back to the time of any of the so-called prophets. JJ said it was called the Tanakh. Okay? The Tanakh. Tanakh is a made-up European Hebrew word that is in actuality an acronym. It is not any kind of ancient word, nor is it an ancient book. The Tanakh, the Apollo Codex, is a medieval manuscript of the Hebrew Bible Tanakh, associated with Rabbi Aaron ben Asher, Masoretic scholars who wrote it in the early 10th century. Make note, CE stands for Christian era. The Tanakh and the Masoretic text come from after the Christian era. Christian era. Thus, there's no way the Tanakh was used or ever existed.
3 minutes.
Thank you. Or ever existed in 287 BC to translate into any kind of Greek book, because there is no ancient books that existed that date back to Ezekiel. There is no ancient books that date back to Noah. There are no ancient books. These books that they're talking about that compose the Bible are all new, and that's why they can't find any of the books in any ancient script. This is the script that JJ has to show. This is what they call Proto-Hebrew, which is another made-up term by the European. It's really Canaanite language, and here's what it looks like. JJ would have to show the book of Jeremiah, the book of Exodus, the book of Ezekiel in this language, not in the Strong's Concordance modern-day Hebrew. That's a modern day. This is the ancient Hebrew that goes back, and it only goes back to 1000 or 1200 BC, to the time of the Canaanites. So if JJ is saying that there was some ancient Hebrew Bible and the ancient Hebrews of 287 BC took it and made it Greek, where did they get it from? Where is the ancient text that we can go back and look? The oldest time you even see words like Jerusalem in Hebrew, right, is in this museum right over here, right? The Israel Museum. And this is only 100 BC. What JJ doesn't know, unfortunately for JJ, not only was the story of the Hebrews putting together a Septuagint, a non-historical embellished story by the Greeks, but the very word Hebrew was put together by the Greeks with the H. The Hebrew language that they use is modern. It came after the Greeks. They finally found the oldest Hebrew inscription of Jerusalem, and guess how old it is? 100 BC. Here's the word Hebrew, ladies and gentlemen. Did this word Hebrew even exist in ancient times? It comes from Latin, Hebraeus, Greek. And the Aramic is the word Iber. It doesn't have an H. It's not Hebrew. There is no ancient people in any ancient times going back to 1400 BC or 1800 BC, at the time of Abraham, writing down that they were ever called Hebrews that had any type of ancient books. So what we know and what we've established so far in my last minute of this section is that, yes, we all agree that the Septuagint comes from the Alexandrian Council and the Ptolemies. That is an undeniable, historical, tangible fact. How it was, who put it, who translated it, we don't know, because we don't have any books to show they were even translated. But we know that the order and how it was put together was by the Ptolemies, because it doesn't trace back to any other culture other than the Ptolemies. So we will wait for JJ7000 to show us full ancient books of the Bible and to show us the Hebrews themselves in 287 BC saying that they're the ones that took all of these ancient books and turned it into Greek. I will sit and wait and see if JJ actually ever shows that. I do not believe the letter of Aristeas.
Okay.
Peace.
All right, go on mute, Brother Tahuti.
Yes.
All right.
Brother JJ,
Yeah, I'm ready.
you are up now, my brother. You got 3 minutes in this round to rebuttal him before you go into your time. You got 3 minutes, brother.
Let's get it. Now, everybody,
Ready?
if y'all,
You ready?
if y'all, yeah, I'm ready.
Time starts.
Now, see, like I said, Tahuti is full of magic and spells and all that. Because let me tell you something. As soon as he opened up and he played that video, he said this was his source, the letter of Aristes. This is his source. Outside of that, you have no proof at all that the Greeks wrote anything. You didn't put me in a trick bag because I don't believe in the source. I told you it was pseudo. Now let's get back to what the Septuagint is, bro. Let's get back to that. And like I say, Tahuti, I need you to show me Greek scholars, Greek scribes writing the Septuagint and the Bible without any Hebrew help. Because all you did was some goddamn conjecture. That's all you did. That was your argument. That's your source. Everybody remember, when he said that's his source, he said it. A fake letter. Now let's get to the information, man. Let's get to this, bro. Because I ain't finna play with you. Now, the first 5 books is just the beginning of the story. Let's talk about the other 34 books. Hold on, I don't want to get to that. Hold up. The Septuagint was also not something that the ancient world would have existed in print between 2 covers. So we have to guard against inaccuracies and thinking about the Septuagint as some kind of singular entity, Tahuti. So once again, the Septuagint was not a single or unified translation. It was not completed by one group or a committee, Tahuti. You said they did it. I'm going to have more proof where the Israelites kept the language intact, and that's where they got the information from. You're going to have to prove to me, where did these Greeks get this information? How can we compare the Septuagint to the Dead Sea Scrolls and the majority of it match up? If the majority of it match up, Tahuti, then how the hell did the Greeks know about this? That's what you gotta be. Everybody gotta listen to, because Tahuti full of tricks. And then he want to talk about. Look, let me show you my screen real quick. Let me show you my screen. Hold up, Sarnetta. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen, bro. Hold up. Stop the time for a second, sir. Let me share my screen. Hold up. All right. Right here. Go ahead, sir. Now, see this right here. See, it's Biblical Archaeology Review, 4/3 September, October 1978. An alphabet from the days of Judges at the site called Isbet Sartah, now believed by some scholars to be the biblical Ebenezer. And recent excavation by Tel Aviv and Bar Ilan universities have undiscovered a small clay potsherd unrelated to the biblical story, which, however, the most important single find of the excavation, the shard contains the longest Proto-Canaanite inscriptions ever discovered. You see what I'm saying? This right here, this information right here. Let me read you this. Bro. It says, where did the Hebrew language come from? The earliest evidence we have for ancient Israelite language actually come from the archaeological record. Yeah, okay,
all right, we're going to go right into your 15 minutes. Go ahead, Jay.
This comes from an archaeological record, the Isbet Sartah inscription. It dates back as early as the 12th century BCE, Tahuti. At the bottom of the inscription is a Proto-Canaanite alphabet. Although technically written in Canaanite language, scholars say this is the missing link between Canaanite and Hebrew. The Isbet Sartah demonstrates the letter order that we should see in the Hebrew alphabet and later the Greek alphabet. Scholars call the inscription like this Abecedary. That's spelled Abecedary. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, we got. Let me show you what else we got, man. Let me show you what else. I mean, we got all kind of information. This guy want to sit up there and play games like we just ain't got nothing. Come on, man. You ain't showed not one Greek scholar, one Greek script, nothing. You can't give a name, and you're going off a fake ass letter. So I'm gonna bust your head right now. This is what I'm gonna do. The 9 oldest copies of Torah in the world. The word Torah can mean many different things, but in general, it refers to the first 5 books of the Jewish Bible, which is known as the Pentateuch. However, Torah is also used to refer to the entire Jewish Bible, as well as the whole Bible of Jewish laws and teachings. According to the Jewish tradition, the oral Torah was given to Moses at Mount Sinai. That's how we passed it down orally. We had people that remember this stuff, bro. That's how we got our script. What you talking about, bro? Let's keep it moving, man. Torah was given to Moses at Mount Sinai by Yah, then who had passed on what he learned to the Jewish people. No one knows for sure when the Torah was first written down, but scholars believe the final version of the Torah we have today was recorded during the Babylonian exile, 530 goddamn years BCE. Tahuti. A few fragments of text from around this time period have survived, but the older complete Torah only dates to the 11th or 12th century. All right, let's keep it moving. This is the Ketef Hinnom silver scroll amulets. The two silver scroll amulets from the Ketef Hinnom archaeological site are the oldest pieces of Torah ever found in the world. The scrolls were discovered in 1979 and was estimated to be from the late 7th or early 6th century BCE. The two small strips of silver contain what is known as the priestly benediction from the book of Numbers. The hell you talking about? The 4th book of the Torah, making it the oldest biblical passage ever found in on an ancient artifact. For many years, doubts over the contents and age of the scrolls persisted. Much of the silver scrolls have been corroded, and many words are barely legible. However, in 2004, researchers at the University of Southern California re-examined the scrolls using new photogenic and computer imaging techniques. They were able to fully read the text and determine that the silver scrolls were from the time period just before the destruction of the Jerusalem temple, 586 BC. Tahuti. Let's keep it moving. See, he ain't brought no. Here go the source. All Tahuti bringing up something that he made up. Where's your sources? This was written in the late 7th or early 6th BCE. The location is Ketef Hinnom. The archaeological site is in Jerusalem. Let's keep it moving because my time is running out. Then we got the Dead Sea Scrolls. They're some of the most important and well-known biblical artifacts ever discovered. Most of the Dead Sea Scrolls were written between the 2nd century BCE, the 2nd century CE, and had remained buried in the Judean desert for thousands of years. So we protected our scripts. We hid them. Because we know the Romans and the Greeks, the Romans, they were trying to get rid of our scripts, bro. This shit was preserved. Just because it wasn't found at the time, that don't mean we didn't have it, because they steady digging it up. Let's keep it moving. Now, it's a massive search for more of the scrolls in nearby caves. These are scrolls that they find in everybody. I don't know what the hell Tahuti talking about. Where's the Greek scrolls? Where's the Greeks out here that's talking about they translated this Bible? Hell, if they did it by themselves, what the hell they need us for? Because in your fake letter, it said they commissioned 72 goddamn Israelites. Let's keep it moving, man. I mean, come on, this dude, like I said, man, hold up. This is the Dead Sea Scrolls. All right. Now, thousands of scroll fragments amounted to over 900 manuscripts. We got manuscripts everywhere. Were uncovered at the numerous sites across the Judean desert and are collectively known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are divided into two main categories: biblical and non-biblical. The biblical contents of Dead Sea Scrolls contain every book of the Torah and the whole Hebrew Bible except the book of Esther. Man, sit down somewhere with that fake information you putting out here. Let's keep it moving. Here goes the source for that. Year written 2nd century BCE. Location alleged Fayan, Egypt. Context, the Decalogue, the 10 Commandments, and the part of the Shema prayer of the Torah. Let's see what else we got. Oh my goodness, we got more. The En-Gedi scroll, Tahuti. We got scrolls falling at the yin yang, and you talking about where it at? Like I told you, bro, we passed this oral information down, and when it was time to write it down, the right people, the qualified people was there to do it. Now, the En-Gedi scroll was discovered all the way back in 1970, but not much was known about its contents because how damaged it was. The scroll looked like a lump of charcoal for nearly 50 years. Researchers have wondered what was written in the En-Gedi scroll, and they finally got their answer in 2016. A team of computer scientists from the University of Kentucky. So I'm bringing a team of scientists. What Tahuti bringing? Nothing. All he brings that damn snake and spider. Use specialized X-ray imaging, Tahuti, to reveal the writing inside the scroll without unwrapping it. Here go. Look, see, I'm bringing the source. Year written 3rd, 4th century CE. The location, section of the Leviticus 1 and 3. And we got scrolls all over the place, man. Thanks to the scientists, we know that the En-Gedi scroll contains the portions of Leviticus 1 and 3. The scroll has been radiocarbon dated to the 3rd, 4th century CE, sometime after the Dead Sea Scrolls. according to the research team, and Getty Scroll is the oldest Testament scroll ever found in the Holy Ark of the Synagogue. Let's keep it moving, bro. All right, we got the Lanyon manuscript and Asgar Gilson Hebrew manuscript to Tahuti. Prior to 2007, no one knew that the two Torah fragments known as the Asgar Gilson Hebrew manuscript number 2 and the Lanyon manuscript were actually part of the same scroll. They go to doctors. Dr. Mordecai Mishnor, Tahuti ain't brought nobody. I'm bringing these people out that's qualified to talk about this. A member of the Academy of the Hebrew Language is credited for first noticing the similarities between the Asgar Gilson manuscript and the London manuscript. Misgar contacted Dr. Edna Ingo of the Hebrew Paleography Project at the Israel Academy of Science and Humanities, who determined that the two fragments were in fact a perfect match. Come on, let me keep going, man. Here you go. Location found in Beirut, Lebanon. What may have actually come from somewhere in Egypt. Section of the books of Exodus. Man, what this dude talking about, man? The Aleppo Codex, Tahuti, was at one point the oldest and most accurate copy of the complete Hebrew Bible for more than thousands of years. The Aleppo Codex was carefully preserved by Jewish communities in the Middle East. See, that's very important. They were preserved by the Jews, by the Israelites, our people. When the Romans try to get rid of our scripts and burn them, we hid them in caves and shit. Now they starting to resurface. So you can't tell me, no, we don't know where they're at. How did they do this? Bro, it's information coming up out the yin yang showing you where they're getting the information from, man. Cut it out. Now, the Aleppo Codex was at one point the oldest, most accurate copy of the Bible. Okay, and like I said, was carefully preserved by Jewish communities. So when is you gonna show us some information where these goddamn Greeks is preserving anything? Because like I said, in your fake letter that you use, they asked the Israelites for help. Now you're gonna have to prove outside of your letter that Greeks did this, and you can't. You can't. Let's keep it moving, bro. Initially, everyone thought that the Aleppo Codex has been completely destroyed, but parts of it were secretly rescued. In 1958, the remaining Aleppo Codex was smuggled out of Syria and taken to Jerusalem for safekeeping. Today, only about 295 pages of the Aleppo Codex have survived, including nearly all the Torah, the Pentateuch. Over the years, and a few missing pages have turned up, and many efforts have been made to find the rest of the Aleppo Codex. All right, let's go, bro. This dude, I don't know what he's thinking. And the year was written in 930 CE. Location Tiberias, which is now northern Israel. Context: prior to 1947, the complete Hebrew Bible. Hundreds of pages missing though. But let's keep it moving. Let's go. What we got here? The Damascus Pentateuch, Tahuti. We got stuff everywhere. What is you talking about? Show me where these goddamn Greeks were out there scribing this up, and then how the hell did they do it without Israelite help? You want to show that, because a lot of the shit in the Septuagint and the Dead Sea Scrolls, they match up. So they must have been some goddamn geniuses to figure this shit out, huh, Tahuti? Let's keep it moving. The Damascus Pentateuch is the oldest and most complete manuscript containing only the Torah of the Hebrew Bible. While the manuscripts contain most of the Torah, the beginning is missing parts of Genesis, and it starts at Genesis 9:26. Exodus 18:1 and 23 is also missing. The Damascus Pentateuch was written around 1000 CE, includes full vocalizations, enunciations, and Masoretic enunciations. Untociation. I can't pronounce that, but let's keep it moving. That was written at the Jewish National and University Library of Israel. The manuscript was named after the Jewish community of Damascus. See, the Jews is finding this, who owned the Pentateuch until 1915. What else we got here, Tahuti? The Leningrad Codex. We got stuff everywhere. This is showing y'all, as I go through this, the preservation of the word and how it's passed down. And in my next round, I'm going to even take you back further than that, on how we preserved our word and pass it down orally, and only certain ones learn this information to pass it down. What the hell Tahuti talking about? Where is these Greeks? Tahuti, you're going to have to show me a Greek scribe, a Greek scholar, outside of that goddamn fake-ass letter Arteris you're using. You can't. Now, while the Aleppo Codex is older and was used to make corrections to the Leningrad Codex, because parts of the Aleppo Codex have been missing today, the Leningrad Codex is officially the oldest complete Hebrew Bible in existence. The Leningrad Codex contains 39 books of the Hebrew Bible, including the Torah. This Hebrew Bible was written in 109 CE, which is also known because the date was written on the manuscript. Now, the Leningrad Codex was also written in Cairo, Egypt. A lot of this is coming up out of Kemet. So you can believe Kemet on one hand, but then when the information that they reflect on the Hebrews, now you don't believe it. This is one biased guy, bro. Come on, man. Get your act together. Let's keep it moving, man. The university...
3 minutes, JJ. 3 minutes.
Thank you. The University of Bologna Torah Scroll Tahuti. And like I said, when I get done with this, I'm going to take you back. I'm going to show you how we preserve the language. I'm going to show you how the oral tradition, this is how these people got this information. How the hell the Greeks get it, Tahuti? Can you tell us that? How the hell did the Greeks get it, Tahuti? I want you to show me Greek scholars, Greek scribes, who didn't need no help from no Israelite to put the book together. And when they did that, how did they miraculously match it up with the Dead Sea Scrolls? Man, come on, man, this debate over. In 2013, a Torah scroll from the University of Bologna in Italy made international news as it was deemed to be the world's oldest Torah. This is technically true as it is the oldest complete Torah scroll. Professor, so I bring in professors. Tahuti just bringing something that got, this is by Tahuti at the bottom. Bring your goddamn sources of reference or don't get in the ring with me. Now, the professor Maru Perini announced that radiocarbon tests showed that the Torah scroll was about 800 years old, dating between 1155 and 1225. See, we're preserving the information. It's getting passed down and preserved and saved. Although the University of Bologna had possessed the Torah scroll for over a century, it was misidentified by the school original library and cataloger. From 1889, he did not recognize the Hebrew script and thought the text was bad, Italian script. But Professor Printing noticed the mistake when he set up to update the library's Hebrew manuscript collection. Like I said, let me put my camera back on, man. Like I said, this dude right here, man. Like I say, bro, hold up. My camera fell. Hold up. Let me tell you something, Hootie. You're not going to come and play these little magic games with 7,000. You're going to have to come with some goddamn Greek sources, some Greek scribes. You're going to have to come with something. And you can't use that fake-ass letter because we're pseudepigrapher. And even in that letter, it says that Israelites translated the Bible. I never said I believed in the letter. I told you that from the beginning. You said you believed in that fake-ass letter. Don't try to put it on me. Can you hear me, Sarnetta? Can you hear me? Wow. Hold up. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, JJ. You ain't want me to stop your time?
Okay, I'll see you.
All right,
talking.
time is up anyway.
Okay, but time up. All right.
Yeah, time is up. All right, brother Tahuti, your 3 minutes is now up. You got 3 minutes to rebuttal the brother, and then you'll get into your 15-minute round. When you hear this sound, that's when your 15-minute round begins. You hear me? Unmute yourself.
Thank you. Yes, I hear you. Great, brother.
All right, brother. Your 3 minutes begin when you're ready.
Okay, let me do a screen share. Ladies and gentlemen, again. Poor JJ. Again, let's just go ahead. I actually screen captured everything that he put on the screen. So this is the rebuttal to just what he put on the screen. So remember, this topic is who put the Septuagint together. Now the Septuagint is 287 BC. It is the only known full books of the Bible. Poor JJ did not show any ancient full books of the Bible that predated this. Let's go through one by one everything that JJ showed. I screenshotted it. He said, how did the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint match? Because the Septuagint was first, and then people who believed in it after rewrote it. The Dead Sea Scrolls were not written by any prophets. The Dead Sea Scrolls are 100 BC to 100 AD. And most of the Dead Sea Scrolls are not even biblical books. Just like the Bibles today. The Bibles today match the Bibles of the past because people today believe in what was in the past. But what's the origin? He asked, how did the Ptolemies match up with the Dead Sea Scrolls? The issue with JJ is that he's horrible with dates and he's not addressing the subject matter. How did the Ptolemies match up with the Dead Sea Scrolls? The Ptolemies were 287 BC. Ladies and gentlemen, dates are very important. 287 BC. What he showed here, I screen shared it, 2nd century BC in Fayum, Egypt. JJ has never shown any biblical books. He's not showing any ancient full biblical books in any ancient language at the time. Below is modern Hebrew. Here's what JJ showed. This section, the oldest copies of the Torah. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the Torah is supposed to have been written by Moses. Look up the date of Moses. Supposedly, he was 1400 BC. Look at the date of this writing. First of all, look at the language. This is modern Hebrew. Look at the date. 539 BCE. 539 is almost 1,000 years after Moses. So this could not have been written by Moses. This could not have been what the Ptolemies used to translate. What did the Ptolemies translate from? How was this story? Poor JJ. Here we go. Here's something else he showed. Look at the year written that he showed. You see, this is screenshotted right from the Sonneter Show Live. Look at the year that JJ is showing. 3rd to 4th century CE, late section of Leviticus. This is what he's showing as his ancient Hebrew books. CE stands for Christian era. This is the time of the Nicene Council. Of course you're going to find Of course you're going to find biblical books in the time of the Nicene Council. This is CE. The Ptolemies were BC, before the so-called Christ. JJ keeps showing us books in the CE and the early eras that are after the prophets. He even had the nerve to show the Apollo Codex. Look at the dates of the Apollo Codex. Look at the language of the books he's showing. This is modern Hebrew. Look at the Apollo Codex, which I just broke down in round 1. Look at the year. 930 CE, JJ. CE stands for Christian era. That's 930 years into the Christian era. This is crazy. So Moses was writing this in 930 years into the Christian era. Where are the books of ancient times of the Hebrews? Where is the ancient book of Genesis that was converted that dates back to 1400 BC? Where are the books of Ezekiel? JJ keeps showing these. These are all screenshotted from what JJ showed. Look at the dates. Look at the language of what this man is showing. This guy actually showed the Leningrad Codex live at time 50 and 14 seconds. The Leningrad Codex is 1009 CE. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the screen and look at the dates of what this man is showing. What does this have to do with Moses? What does this have to do with Noah and Abraham or Jeremiah or Ezekiel or the book of Chronicles or King David? This is way after. Way after. Now, this man brought up the Silver Scrolls. Oh boy. This is so horrible. So here's the Leningrad Codex. Here's the Apollo Codex right here that I showed in my round 1. Okay? This is going back to the CE era in modern Hebrew. Do you see this, ladies and gentlemen? This is modern Hebrew. It does not go back to the time of Moses. So no, the Ptolemies could not have used this. Okay, now he went to the Silver Scrolls. Let's check out the Silver Scrolls. Silver Scrolls are KH1 and KH2 scrolls. Look at the date, ladies and gentlemen, of the so-called Silver Scrolls, which are supposed to be the ancient books, quotes of Deuteronomy. Look at the dates. This is where the Hebrews fall, man. 650 BC, JJ. Where was Moses in 650 BC? Look at the language this is written in. I'm going to blow it up. This is not in the Hebrew of what JJ showed earlier. This is not in that Hebrew. This is not even the full book of Deuteronomy. This is not the book of Exodus. He's showing little clips of things. What's the translation of this? Where does it show what book in the Bible is this? As you can see, this is Canaanite language. Where are the Hebrew books? Look at the language that this is written in. You will not find one ancient Hebrew book in this language. This is the language that goes back to the time of so-called King David, but it only goes back 1200 BC. Moses goes back 1400 BC. Where are the ancient books of Moses that the Hebrews translated? And remember, the topic of this is, did the Ptolemies put it together? The Bible that we have, the remnants of the Bible that we have today. That is Genesis all the way to Malachi in full version, the full book of Genesis, the full book of Exodus, the full book of Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, all of these books right here, the full book of Ezekiel, the full book of Jeremiah, the full book. Where are these ancient full books that ancient Hebrews translated into Greek, and then they called it the Septuagint? Why would Hebrews call it the Septuagint? What does Septuagint have to do with Hebrew culture? Oh boy, this is really, this is good though. This is good. All will learn. Okay, so now, this is what the Hebrews were doing. Here we go. Here we can see, guess what this is, ladies and gentlemen? When you see me walking around with the Ankh, when you see me walking around with the wings of Heru, when you see brothers that study Kemet walking around with the scarab beetle, guess who else was walking around with this, according to archaeology and biblical narrative, if there ever was a King Hezekiah? This is the King Hezekiah stela. Look at the language. Here we can see what people are calling the Hezekiah Bulla, and the language at the time. This is the language of the time of 722 BC. Okay? It looked like this. Where can we find any archaeological books of the so-called ancient Hebrew scriptures in this language? This is Hezekiah's language. You see this script? This is nothing like what JJ showed in the Apollo Codex and the Leningrad Codex. He's showing modern Hebrew. This is the Hebrew that would have existed in the time of King David, in the time right after Moses. Where is there any books of the Bible in this time, dating back 1400 BC in the language? Since the claim is that Hebrews translated these Hebrew books of the scriptures into Greek, where are the original books that they translated? JJ is trying to force me to say that I'm saying that Greeks are writing something and that I believe in the letter of Arises. I don't. It's Greek propaganda. We know that the Septuagint is traced back to the Greeks. We know that it's written in Greek. The Septuagint is only written in Greek. Ladies and gentlemen, please pull up for me any ancient Septuagint that's not written in Greek. Go. Paste it in the room. Show me, JJ, where is there a Septuagint that's not written in Greek? JJ is under the impression that there was some type of meeting between Greeks and ancient Hebrew priests, and they took some ancient books which didn't even exist. Those books didn't even exist at the time. Okay. Now, JJ is bringing up, let me go over here, the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is what the Hebrews told around. This is one of the most popular translations and researchers of the Dead Sea Scrolls, Florentino Garcia Martinez, right? Judah Nazareth actually shows this in his room when he's talking about it. Many Hebrews pull up this as their Dead Sea Scrolls. Look at the dates. Look at the Dead Sea Scrolls that JJ is bringing up. This is from that book. I have the book. Here is from page 294 of the book. Greek of the book of the Dead Sea Scrolls translation. And what does it say right here? 4 fragments inscribed formal Paleo Hebrew in the last half of the 4th century BCE, but not identical, received with Joshua 21. So first of all, they're not identical with the books that we have today, and these are copied books. That means that it's not written by Joshua. Let me go back to this. Here we go. First hand of the first half of the 1st century BCE. and unidentical field text. This is the dates of the Dead Sea Scrolls. People are under the impression that the Dead Sea Scrolls are a bunch of biblical books. Small percentages of the Dead Sea Scrolls have biblical books, and none of them are claimed to be written by the prophets themselves. They are people who believed in the prophets, and the people who lived in the caves of Qumran started writing. That is historical archaeological fact. They only date, look at this, the first half of the first century BCE. That's 100 to 200 BCE after the Septuagint. After the Septuagint. So of course you're going to have people that believe in the Bible and then write about the Bible after the Septuagint, whereas the main person who wrote the book on the translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls is telling you that these are not ancient books. We had poor JJ7000 is asking, how did the Ptolemies get the Dead Sea Scrolls to translate it perfectly? The Ptolemies and the Dead Sea Scrolls never existed in the same time period. The Ptolemies were unconcerned with your Hebrew doctrine. Okay, this is the Ptolemies right here. These are the Ptolemies, and what they were concerned with was imitating Kemetic culture, not trying to live the life of any kind of Hebrew, not interested in any Hebrew scriptures. The point of this debate, though, again, we'll go back to the top. Was the Septuagint put together by the Ptolemies or the Hebrews? JJ7000, if there's a book called the Septuagint, which has all your books of the Old Testament that you use today, from Genesis all the way to Malachi, and it's only in Greek, and it's found, archaeologically found, in the Alexandrian Council in the area of the Ptolemies, then this is where it originates. There is no ancient Hebrew Bible. The Hebrew Bible that JJ is showing, that he's trying to show that the Ptolemies use, are all 500 to 1,000 years after the Ptolemies. They're way after the Ptolemies. They're even in the CE era. So, JJ7000, we are waiting for you to show historical evidence that a group of people that call themselves Hebrews gathered these books from Genesis to Malachi in the year 287 BC. Remember, what JJ has to show has to go back to the date 287 BC, because that is the archaeological date of the Septuagint. And then it was named the Septuagint afterwards. He has to show that they translated the sacred text into Greek. All I'm asking for, JJ, which I've asked you from the very beginning, can you please show us ancient Hebrews saying they did this? I don't want to believe you. I don't want to believe commentaries. I want to believe what the ancient people say about themselves. Every debate I seem to have on Sonnetter is always me defending, what did the ancient people say about themselves? Did they say it? I don't care what people say in 2021 about ancient people. Did the ancient Levitical scribes ever have any written document that stated that they had a council that got together in 287 BC and put together a Greek book and called it the Septuagint? Why would Hebrews call it 70? The Ptolemies called it 70 and 72, the story of the 70 and 72, because of their sacred number 72, which is what started this whole debate, because I was breaking down the sacred number 72 and how the Greeks were using it in their culture and how they put it inside of the Bible in their Septuagint. The Hebrews don't have any sacred number 70 or 72. And the bottom line, JJ, again, is that, let me get back to the screen, is that there is no ancient Hebrew record of them putting together the Septuagint. The only link we have in history, which neither of us believe in, which is very interesting, the only link we have to the Greek Ptolemies in ancient times and the so-called Hebrews getting together and doing this is the Ptolemaic Aristes letter, which both of us is saying is fake. Then let's crumple up that letter, throw it away. We're going to throw that letter away. Now here we are with a Greek book called the Septuagint. Where did it come from, JJ? It's in Greek.
3 minutes.
It's in Greek. It was found in Alexandria under the Ptolemies, but it didn't come from the Ptolemies. Where did the Septuagint come from, JJ, with primary sources from your culture? Show me any writing of your ancient Hebrew culture ever talking about a Septuagint. Ever talking about a Septuagint. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do not believe in the letter of Aristes. I do not believe in the Ptolemaic tales, the legends, which are embellished, which have been proven to be historically inaccurate and pseudepigrapha. All we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that we have a group of Greek books that are from Genesis to the book of Malachi, and they're only in Greek at that time. And they're found in Alexandria under the Ptolemies. Thus, I'm not going to add conjecture and make up a story of where they come from. I can just say where they're found, what language they're in, and leave it as that. If you have another story that is confirmed by your culture of where that particular book came from, then JJ, can you please show your primary source of where it comes from? To this day, all we know is that the way it was organized was put together in that council. Who the people were that did it specifically under the Ptolemies, we don't know. We just know the Ptolemies were over it. The Ptolemies themselves are not going to be writing anything. They're kings. They're kings. They issue out what they want to be done. They're the kings of Egypt. They're not going to be gathering books and doing it themselves. They're going to be putting it together, as in they are the authority that decide the order that it goes in, just like the Nicene Council, just like the Hampton Council in between 1604 and 1611 under King James. King James and his men organized, the council organized how we got the Bible today. The Ptolemies, the Europeans continuously organize canon books and then give it to people, and then we start to believe in it. JJ7000, all I'm asking for is please show your ancient Hebrew references to where the Septuagint came from. Please, that's all I ask. Peace and love, everybody. Remember the subject matter and remember the title. Peace.
You still had like 30 seconds.
Well, that's fine.
All right, brother, put your joint on mute. Brother JJ, you got 3 minutes to rebuttal. And then when you hear this sound, JJ, that means your 15 minutes will begin.
All right.
All right, go on mute, Tahuti. All right, brother JJ, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Time will start. Go.
All right. It's obvious that this brother right here, Tahuti, do not know history. Because you said you talking about the Council of Alexandria. The Council of Alexandria started in 231 AD as a council of bishops and priests that met at Alexandria, Egypt, called by Bishop Demetrius for the purpose of declaring or origin of Alexandria. You see what I'm saying? Unworthy of the office and to be a teacher. So what I'm saying, you're going to have to prove to me about this Council of Alexandria. Because it started in you don't know history. It started in 231 AD, Tahuti. What council is you talking about? And like I said, everybody, Tahuti wants to put all the burden of proof on me. I didn't show you scripts of the language. I didn't show you how they preserved it. All Tahuti do it, he ain't showed not one Greek scholar, not one Greek scribe that wrote this down. And in the beginning of the debate, everybody, he said that was his source. Do not forget that. You can't take that back because it's recorded, bro. You said that was your source, a fake source. So outside of your fake source, what do you have to show that Greeks did this? Where's the Greeks that's writing this without Hebrew help? Because even in your fake letter, it says Israelites help them translate it. Let's get back to the reading, man. Because this dude he's full of magic and tricks and bells and whistles. All right. Now, the Septuagint is in many ways associated with the translation into Greek of the first 5 books of the Old Testament, Genesis through Deuteronomy, commonly known among the scholars as the Pentateuch within the Israelite Jewish community. Traditionally, historically, the Septuagint, strictly defined, was considered the Greek translation of the Pentateuch, a translation. scholars generally recognize that the Greek Pentateuch was the first translation of the Hebrew Bible. It is the earliest and probably occurred sometime in the mid 3rd century BCE, and it was completed within the Israelite living community in Ptolemaic Alexandria. This was the time right after the Persian Empire, where the Greek Empire has to come into prominence, led by Alexander the Greek, who began to Hellenicize and spread Greek culture and language through the Mediterranean world. And one of the effects is that initially in the Jew community was to translate their scripture into Greek. And that began with the Pentateuch. We also have Paleo-Hebrew Levite scrolls known as the 11Q Paleo Leviticus. It's an ancient text preserved in one of the quorum groups of the caves, and which provides a rare glimpse of the script used formerly by the nation of Israel in writing. Okay, all right, that's it for my 3 minutes, right? Well, okay, now, this script was used formerly by the nation of Israel in writing Torah scrolls during pre-exilic history. That's Jonathan Siegel, 1979, page 28. The Paleo-Hebrew script was the only alphabet used by the Israelites. This was prior to the destruction of the first temple. So we also know that we had Hebrew scrolls down with them in Alexandria. They had the scrolls with them, Tahuti. What you thought? This is where they got the information from. They had the scrolls with them. The first 5 books is just the beginning of the story. Let's talk about the other 34 books. I know you were smiling, laughing, kiki and caca, and pet your snake, because you're getting cooked right now. These translations were also made in the Israelite communities, mostly centered in Kemet, over the following number of centuries, Tahuti, possibly into the 1st and 2nd century AD. The Septuagint wasn't complete till after the ADs, bro. And like I said, your Council of Alexandria started in, 231 AD. You don't know history. You don't know history, buddy. All right. And then, like I said, you got to prove that this Alexandria library even existed. You got to prove that the Greeks, scribes and scholars were out here writing this. I got more proof and more evidence showing how the language is preserved and passed down. What do you have to bring to the table besides a goddamn dead looking ass spider and a snake? That's all you bringing, bro, and conjecture and lies and magic tricks. I ain't gonna let you do it. Now let's keep it moving, bro. Now there were individual scrolls of individual books that were translated, then distributed after the tradition of translation springs into life in the 3rd century AD in the Israelite community of Hellenistic Egypt. You have further books being translated, but as new books are being translated from a Hebrew scroll into the Greek scroll, you have that books then being copied by hand, one copy at a time, and then used or duplicated and distributed in a variety of ways. And in that process, we see the different type of processes unfold. On one hand, you have the traditional tradition that the God is to copy just as it was wrote, preserved. And on other times, we have tendencies towards revising and improving the Greek translation according to the number of criteria that we may or may not fully understand. But as a whole Septuagint, quote unquote, as it was coming into existence over the following centuries, Tahuti, ending in the ADs, books that were already in existence in Greek already had been translated, beginning to be revised at a fairly early stage, as other books left were not yet translated or would be translated in future centuries. So like I said, bro, so we have repetition or copying. The Greek texts of the Old Testament were copied over time, revision, improvements, and at that time, the Jew scholars also updated and improved the translation of several books in the Old Testament. Yeah, it might not say the same back then because they update stuff, Tahuti. That's what's going on. You can snake your head all you want, bro. When you gonna show me a Greek writing something down by itself without that goddamn letter Because all your letter doing is saying that Israelites translated. Show me something outside of that letter, Tahuti, showing Greeks did this. It's just like he trying to say, well, the Greeks were over. And it's just like, who won the championship for the Lakers? Kobe and Shaq or Jenny Buss? Kobe and Shaq did all the goddamn work, not Jenny Buss. So what the hell is you talking about? Now, like I said, we have revision, improvements, and at that time, the Jewish scholars also updated and improved the translation of several books. In the opinion of scholars, the reason for the revision was there were a number of traditions that we could allocate the textual transmission of the Septuagint. In terms of translation approach and goals for revision, the Pentateuch itself, the kind of translation style that was established or approach taken, it established in its own tradition other books that came later, like the Minor Prophets, the Book of the Judges, Psalms, continue the great general approach. We also have a tradition that we might call a paraphrasing tradition. Books like Proverbs or Job or Isaiah where there are substantial pluses and minuses, rearrangement of portions of the text in the Greek translation itself is more of a paraphrase, but then you have the revisional tradition where you have, in that tradition, you have books like Judges, Samuel's, Kings, and the Minor Prophets. There is a revision, and there are two general emphases for the revision. One is to make the translation better to correlate with the existing Hebrew manuscript, Tahuti, and two, update the Greek language usage. Take the existing Greek translation to make it closer in word for word kind of order to an existing Hebrew source text. They're using Hebrews to the Hebrew manuscripts to update and make sure everything is correct. When is Tahuti going to show us anything about Greeks translating this? Who did he got? He has this letter. Let me get to my screen, son. How much time I got? Let me get to my screen. Hold on. Let me get to my screen.
You got 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
Cool. All right, cool. See, what Tahuti failed to realize is that there's a certain order in everything. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna take you through the order of how we kept things in order. The New Testament was originally written in Hebrew, as the following scholars agree. You know what I'm saying? This is by Dr. D. Briggs, PhD at Walden University. He got Bevan, Blizzard, Grant, Ming, Segal, Dam, etc., all agreeing with this guy, right? The New Covenant original language was neither Greek nor Aramaic, as popular wisdom goes, but rather in Hebrew, the same Hebrew language that the Tanakh, the Old Testament was written in. That's by Dr. D. Briggs, PhD, Walden University. All right. Not only is it logical that it should be Hebrew, since Yeshua and the disciples were from a Hebrew-speaking country, but there are many internal and external proofs that reinforce this logic. Furthermore, Yeshua was living in Judea, surrounded by Jew disciples who had as their sacred text the Tanakh written almost entirely in Hebrew. Proof found within the scriptures themselves. Go look at Luke 23 and 38. And the superscription also was written over him in letters of Hebrew. This was the king of the Jews. If Yeshua and the Jews spoke Aramaic, as many have misled to believe, why is not Aramaic listed rather than Hebrew? After all, this sign was written for just the vast majority of Israel, including the common folk, not just single scriptural proof alone. It's overwhelmingly compelling that Hebrew was very much alive and still in use in Israel at that time. Hebrew was still very much alive during the Messiah's earthly ministry and afterwards. Who should one trust? Who has attempted to beguile many of our scriptures? And obviously, Saul, later known as Apostle Paul, understood Hebrew, who was educated at the feet of a Hebrew-speaking scholar. This added proof that the Hebrew was very active in Israel during the time of Yeshua HaMashiach and beyond. That's by Dr. D. Briggs, PhD, Walden University. When is Tahuti going to bring some sources? Let's go. Now, At Matthew 5 and 18, Christ said, not a jot, Tahuti, not a tittle will pass. Both of these refer to the Hebrew alphabet, Tahuti. Why would Yeshua Christ refer to Hebrew within our audience who supposedly spoke Aramaic and thus would not have understood him? Obviously, his audience, Tahuti, they spoke Hebrew. What's wrong with you, bro? Now, why would Yah inspire the disciples of Christ to write Yeshua's biography and teaching in a language that the Jews hated and that the apostles could not have known since they were all Jews? This does not make sense. What was the language of ordinary life of educated native Jews in Jerusalem and Judea in the period of 400 BC to 150 CE? The evidence presented by Mishnah Hebrew as the literature leaves no doubt that the language was Mishnah Hebrew. That's the companion Bible, E.W. Bullinger, Appendix 94. Hebrew continued to be used as a spoken and written language even after the 4th century, including the New Testament period. That's the Oxford Dictionary of the Christian Church, 3rd edition, 1997. There were debates raging concerning the destruction of the scrolls in the New Testament because they contain the divine name of Yah. And even in the Greek, when they translated, they made sure that they put the divine name of YHWH. Why would they do that if Greeks wrote that, Tahuti? That's a question you need to answer. This debate clearly documents that the Gospels were written in Hebrew in early church history. You can find that in the Babylonian Talmud, Shabbat 116a, the Jerusalem Talmud, Shabbat 15c, and the Tosefta, Shabbat 13.5. Like I said, this debate over the 4 Gospels and the book of Matthew. Matthew was put down, and the words of the Lord in the Hebrew language, and others have translated them each at their best as they could. As Papias, Bishop of Hierapolis, 150 AD. Matthew indeed preceded his gospel written among the Hebrews in their own dialect. As Irenaeus, 120 to 202 AD, Bishop of the Lions of France. Let's keep it moving, bro. I'm showing you how we keeping the language together. We keeping it within ourselves. There were also debates raging. Okay, I read that one. Hold up. The first gospel composed in the Hebrew language was written by Matthew for those who came to faith of Judaism, Oregon, 225 AD. Matthew was first preached to the Hebrews, and then when he went out to the others, also he transmitted his gospels in writing in his native language. That's Ecclesiastical History 3, 24 and 6. Tahuti, when are you going to bring a source? Matthew collected and wrote the oracles in the Hebrew language. That's Ecclesiastical History 3, 39 and 16. I'm busting your head with sources. The New Testament was originally written in Hebrew, and like I said, Dr. D. Briggs, PhD, Walden University, these are the people who agree with him. I already told you. Grant, Losi, Schoenfeld, Trim, Segal, and Dan. Let's keep it moving, bro. My time is almost up. Let's keep it moving. Now, God's nature and character is consistent. Y'all talk
3 minutes, JJ. 3 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Y'all talked to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and what later became known as the Hebrew language. Y'all use this language to speak to the Israelites at Mount Sinai. It is the language in which the 10 commandments were written by Yah's own finger. It's also the language he used to speak to all the patriarchs and prophets. He even had the Old Testament written primarily in this language. It is now logical to believe that Yah, for no apparent reason, suddenly changed his mind, Malachi 3 and 6, and surprisingly began to use Greek, a new completely foreign language, to write the New Testament. Such absurd thinking presents a lot of problematic difficulties. Let's keep it moving, man. And like I say, for I, the Lord, do not change. Therefore, O you children of Israel of Jacob, are not consumed, as Malachi 3 and 6. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Josephus disdained the Greek language. He didn't even like it. I have also taken great deal of pains to obtain the learning of the Greeks. I understand the elements of the Greek language. I cannot pronounce Greek with sufficient exactness, for our nation does not encourage those to learn the language of many nations, because the Jew looked upon this sort of accomplishment as common, but they give him the testimony of being a wise man who fully acquainted with our Jewish law. In contrast, there have been many who have done their endeavors with great patience to obtain this Greek learning. There have yet hardly seen so many as 2 or 3 who have succeeded therein. who were immediately all rewarded for their pains. That's the Antiquity of Jews 20 and 21. Jews had an aversion towards the Greeks, especially on religious matters. It's reflected and recorded by the gospel writer and the historian Luke, in that violent incident where an angry Jewish mob developed upon the false report that Paul brought Greeks with him in the temple worship during his last visit in Jerusalem. That's in Acts 21 through 27. This led to Paul's arrest and imprisonment. And you can read that Acts 21 through 27 and 29, but I want to keep it moving. Now, Hebrew Aramaic was actually the common language of first century Judea. All honest historians agree, Tahuti, that Christ and his disciples commonly spoke in Aramaic, a sister dialect to Hebrew, which is also the common language in all Judea and surrounding regions in the first century. Sadly, popular Christian teachings deceitfully want us to believe that Greek was the common language, which is also the false reason given to support the erroneous belief that the Greek was an original language of the New Testament. It was not the original language of the New Testament or the Old Testament. Tahuti, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Hebrew Aramaic was also the native language of all Christ's disciples. All of Christ's disciples were Hebrews who also spoke Aramaic.
All right, let's go, Tahuti. You got 3 minutes in this round to rebut, and then we'll begin to get into your last and final round. Brothers and sisters.
Son.
Yes, hold on, brothers and sisters. Get your questions ready. Remember, just ask the question. That's it. No teaching. We got the teachers here tonight. Just ask your question. And maybe you can call in again and ask another question. Go ahead, Brother Tahuti, before we get into 3 minutes.
Okay, good. Am I muted? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. So, yes, I want to keep it at the 2 rounds and go into the question. I don't want to waste any time on a third round. We're just doing the 2 rounds and get into the conversation that we agreed upon.
All right. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
So what you are doing
question.
right now is rebuttaling him.
Yes.
And then we get into the closing out, the cross-examination.
Hey, sorry, I gotta take a leak real quick.
Go ahead. All right, brother. You want to rebuttal him right now, or you wait till he get back?
Maybe I'll start rebuttaling. I'll start now.
Go ahead.
Okay, just this really. Oh boy, this is so crazy. Let me go ahead and just let me go ahead and do a screen share. This is kind of quick. I want everybody to know what this is right here. This is a tactic that is used in conversations where people try to sway the audience from the original topic, and it's called Gish Gallop. When you present your opponent with many brief arguments to his position across a wide range field, most of which are outside the area of expertise, Gish looks like an expert of many fields. The opponent can't address most of the evidence due to the lack of sufficient time. JJ7000 has given us information on New Testament, Paul, everything except for subject matter. JJ acknowledges that the Septuagint, the original one, was added onto. Who was it added onto by, though? What are the references that JJ gave? The JJ gave references of it being added onto by Jews, not the Jews that he calls Jews. You see, he's talking about the Jews that he believes fulfills Revelations 2:9, which says, "I know the blasphemy of those who call themselves Jews, but they are not. They're the synagogues of Satan." So he's talking about European Jews, which he despises. Yes, they added to the Septuagint because that's what Europeans do. They keep adding on to their books. This is their agenda. Yes. Were any ancient black Hebrews a part of that council? It's not even relevant because we're talking about the actual original Septuagint, not the one, not what was added onto it over a period of time. The original Septuagint is only in Greek language. He keeps bringing up commentary in the New Testament. This is what JJ is doing. He's bringing up commentary. I simply asked a simple question. which is what started this whole debate, is JJ, do you have a story from ancient Hebrews that dates back to the time of the origin of the Septuagint, 287 BC, claiming how they put together the Septuagint and wrote it in Greek? Like, I'm just asking, where is the Greek story? This man is giving the Apollo Codex. He's giving the New Testament. Everything JJ gives is after the fact of what happened in 287. I said council instead of library. Okay, so I want to say that I meant to say the Library of Alexandria. This is where this information is found. The Library of Alexandria goes back to the time of the Ptolemies and back to the time of the Septuagint. The Septuagint only traces to this area with these people. JJ has not shown that that information is incorrect. If it traces back to some other culture, where does it trace back to? The Septuagint is only a Greek book. Then this man is saying, he throws this up on the screen, God's nature and character is consistent. Of course it's not. But Yah talked to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden of what later became known as the Hebrew language. This is so far from incorrect. I've already shown what he's calling the Hebrew language is a young language around 600 BC. Even the ancient Proto-Hebrew is 1200 BC, and it's actually Canaanite. Proto-Hebrew is a European term invented to put themselves in history. The ancient people of 1200 BC did not call themselves Hebrew, nor did they call that language Proto-Hebrew. He says Yah used this language to speak to the Israelites in Mount Sinai. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, everything that JJ is showing is commentary. None of this thing that I'm reading here, this is from JJ. I screenshotted it at 1 hour and 28 minutes. JJ is showing this as this is commentary. This is not what the Hebrews actually said. He's saying that they spoke to all the prophets and had the Old Testament written in the Hebrew language. Fine, then JJ, I'm asking you, can you show us some books in the Old Testament written in this ancient Hebrew language, which has to look like Canaanite?
JJ, you here?
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
So,
can I share my screen? Are we doing?
No. Share your screen for what?
Oh, okay, what are we doing now?
We are in the
rapid fire,
cross-examination round.
I'm going first.
You will have 10 minutes to question Tahuti, but he will also have a minute to answer it uninterrupted.
Okay.
You can't cut him off. If you ask him a question, he have to answer the question within a minute.
Okay.
After that, he gets cut off.
Right.
Okay?
Get it.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Your 10 minutes will start when your first question ends.
All right. Tahuti, can you show me any Greek scribes or scholars who put this work together? Can you show me that? I didn't hear him. You say no?
No, I cannot show you any scribes.
Okay.
I cannot show.
JJ, stop.
My fault. Go ahead.
Okay, brother. Again, you have to let the man answer the question. You can't stop him until he's ready. If you want to stop before a minute, that's cool. But if you want to go on, you cannot stop him. All right. Let's start this over. We're gonna start the time over. Go ahead, JJ. I know. Go ahead, brother.
All right, brother Tahuti, can you show us any Greek scholar or scribe that wrote the Greek Septuagint?
Let me do a screen. Oh, am I muted? I'm unmuted.
No screen sharing. Just answer the question.
Oh, okay. No problem. Okay, since I can't screen share, so in the beginning I showed the Septuagint, and it's only in Greek. I have the name of no Greek scribe. I have the name of nobody who wrote anything. We just know the Septuagint. The Septuagint is in Greek and was found amongst the Ptolemies in the Library of Alexandria and dates back to the time of Ptolemy of Philadelphus II. I do not claim any Greek scribe wrote anything, and that is not what this debate is about.
Okay. So can you show us? Okay, in that letter, the letter of Arterius, does it say the Israelites translated the Hebrew into Greek?
Yes, the letter says that the Israelites, the Jews, translated the Torah. If we go by that letter, it only pertains to the Torah, and both of us say that letter is fake. So that letter is not admissible in this case.
So once again, do you feel that you provided any evidence in this debate that Greeks wrote this Bible? The Greeks wrote the Septuagint.
Am I muted? Yes, by actually presenting the actual papyrus of the Septuagint itself, which is only in Greek, and the archaeology that it only traces back to the Library of Alexandria and the Ptolemies, which were all Greek, and there is no evidence of that Greek papyrus tracing back to any other culture other than the Greeks.
Okay. So what you're basically telling us, you don't have no Greek scholars, no Greek scribes to prove your case, right?
Is that I'm unmuted? What I have is the actual Septuagint writings itself in Greek, found in an area that Greeks controlled under a Greek ruler in a library that was controlled by Greeks. No evidence whatsoever of anyone else being involved other than Greeks. That's all we have in history. Everything else is conjecture.
Is the letter, right? So in that letter, once again, Tahuti, who do it say translated the Hebrew into Greek?
Not the letter, the actual Septuagint papyrus
No,
itself.
that's not my question, Tahuti. I said, in that letter, who is it saying did the translations?
In that false letter, it says that 72 Hebrews did it in that false letter. Yes, it says that. Okay. Not admissible.
In the beginning. Oh, sorry about that, Tahuti. You done?
Full of historical inaccuracies and non-admissible. Says a lot of things, and one of the false things it says is that 72 Hebrews did it. The letter says has many inaccuracies, and we threw that letter out because we both acknowledge the letter is false.
No, we didn't throw the letter out because now, can you acknowledge at the beginning of the debate, did you not say that letter was your source?
No, I did not say that.
Do we have to rewind the tape? Yes, you said that, bro.
My source of their story, that is my source of their story. I do not believe in their story, but if somebody was to ask me, what is the source of a story in Marvel Comics? I'm going to give the Marvel Comics manuscripts. I may give Stan Lee or whoever it is that made up the story or the superheroes. I'll say Spider-Man is found in this book, and this is what it says about Spider-Man. Do I believe that actually took place? Absolutely not. There's many historical errors in the Spider-Man movie. But if you want to know about Spider-Man, here's the source. It's in that comic book.
Okay. All right, Tootie. Will you agree that the Khabar's Codex is the oldest Peshitta Aramaic text available?
I don't know if I agree to that because can you hear me, JJ?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree to that because this debate is not about people from Aramea or Aramaic. It's about Hebrews. So I don't know if I agree or disagree to anything that deals with Aramaic culture.
Have you ever heard of the Khabar's Codex?
Heard of it? Studied it? No. Heard of it? Yes. Studied it? No. What about it?
It's the oldest Peshitta Aramaic text available. You know, but I'm not gonna get into it. I got more questions for you. Now, do you actually feel that you proved in this debate that Greeks wrote the Septuagint?
No, because that's not what this debate is about.
This debate is about you made the statement. Okay, Tahuti, have you ever came on here and made the statement that Greeks wrote the Bible?
I've been teaching for about 35 years. So sometime in my 35 years, did I ever say that Greeks wrote a Bible? I may have. Did I say that in this? Is that what this debate is about? No. This debate is.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, this debate is about who put the Septuagint together.
Would you agree that I have more evidence showing that Israelites wrote and translated the Septuagint, or would you say that Greeks translated it?
Great question. I would say none. You have presented no evidence whatsoever that there was any group of Hebrews in 287 BC that translated anything to anything. None of your references were from 287 BC, and I want to remind you and everybody else that I have a minute to answer. I want to remind you and everybody else that this debate is about a set of papyrus that was found that dates back to 287 BC. So all we can discuss is who was there in 287 BC? Was there Hebrews that were doing it? We have no record of that. We just know that it's a Greek manuscript. That's all we know. So I'm going to give it to the Greeks.
Can you show me any Greek scribe or scholar that wrote this down by himself?
I'm not sure if this is a
answer, bro.
I'm not sure if this is the Mandela effect, but it sounds like you just asked me this a minute ago.
Keep going. It's a method to my madness. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Again, I have no reference to any scribe translating anything into the Greek because there's no archaeological or history evidence of that story. That story only exists in Aristides' letter. Aristides is the only reference at that time that there was anything translated from one thing to the next. So thus, I have no evidence of a fake story. We don't believe in that story, do we?
No, you believe it because in the beginning of the debate, I'm gonna go back and play it. You said that was your source when the very first thing when you came on here. Now you cut. Now, what Council of Alexandria are you talking about when the one I'm talking about started in 231 AD? You said it's Council of Alexandria. I got it on tape. So what council are you talking about?
While you were in the bathroom, you took a bathroom break, and while you were in the bathroom, yeah, I said library. Okay. All the evidence of the Septuagint, the one in 287 BC, that became known as the Septuagint later, that book of Bible books, only goes back to the Ptolemies. It does not go back to any Hebrews. And I'm waiting for just a Hebrew link. Give me a Hebrew link from the Hebrews.
Okay, now you asked that when it's your turn.
Okay.
All right. Now, did you prove in this debate that the Ptolemies translated the Hebrew into Greek?
Not at all, because that's not what the debate. That's not what the debate topic is. The debate topic is not about who translated anything. I don't see that in the title.
So would you say?
Last question.
Okay, That who did the most work, and according to your understanding, did the Ptolemies translate the Hebrew to the Greek, or were there scribes and scholars that did this? Which one?
Beautiful question. All we have is Greek writings from the Ptolemaic area. So there is no reference to anybody translating anything, like I've said before. And I'll say this, the only reason why anyone on the planet thinks that there's a story of a translation is from the letter of Aristides, which we've thrown out. We don't take me and you don't take the letter of Aristides as historical fact. You said that's not historical fact. It's full of errors. I also agreed. So thus we crumple up what is not historical fact and toss it out. Now that we toss it out, we have no link that anybody translated anything.
All right, brother JJ. It is on you to receive the questions, Tahuti. It is on you to give the question. You got 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to ask questions to brother JJ. He have a minute to answer it. You cannot interrupt them. If you want to end this question less than a minute, that's fine. You can begin, brother. Your time starts at the end of your question.
Can I be heard, JJ?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. According to your side of the debate, if we go by your story, after the Hebrews translated it, who would you say assembled it in the order that it's in right now? Not who did it, but who assembled it afterwards, after they did their job of translating it? Who actually assembled it?
Who assembled it? I can't hear you.
Oh, was it just papers thrown around in the air, or was it assembled into a book and distributed? Who assembled it after it was translated?
Who assembled it? I don't know. There's no proof because, like you said, you can't use your letter of Atarius. You can't use that. But what we can do, we can look and see that there's no proof of Greeks learning Hebrew to even translate it over. So the evidence leans more towards my way, for the simple strength that Hebrew has to be translated over to a different language, and no Greeks done this. So the evidence is leaning towards me. Our people translated it over. Even in your fake letter that you used in the beginning of the debate to say that this was your source, says 72. But now you want to flip the script in the middle of the debate. Now he wants to flip the script in the middle of the debate and say he don't believe in the letter. Which one is it, Tahuti? We're not doing no tricks for kid magic tricks.
All right, go ahead, Tahuti.
Okay. Let me put on JJ. JJ, the Septuagint, at least the original one, not all the people that added hundreds of years later, but the Septuagint that we're talking about, where was it found, and what language was it in?
Where's the Septuagint found? I don't know exactly where it was found because, like I say, it is a compilation of different scrolls put together and sent out and revised. So there is no one complete book. This was put together over centuries, like I told you before. You're trying to make it like it was just put together in a couple of years. So we're not going to do that, Tahuti. I'm still speaking, brother. Have some discipline. Have some comedic discipline. This book was not put together in a couple of years, everybody. It was put together over centuries, and by the end of the 2nd century AD is when, or 1st century, that's when it was complete. So there's been revisions, there's been different copies sent out. Go ahead, Tootie.
I muted? Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
I agree it was added on. What I'm speaking about and what I'm here to debate about is the one that was in 287 BC, the source, the Septuagint that we're talking about that has the books of Genesis to Malachi in Greek. Where was that found? The one in 287 BC. Where was that found, and what language was that in? Just a simple question.
Okay,
that one.
You just asked me that. You just asked me that, but I'm answering for you again. The Septuagint was, like I say, found, and it was put together over time. Now you talking about where did they find this? It was never lost, bro. What are you talking about? How was it lost? They'd been had track of the Septuagint. You acting like we found it in the dead, in the corn caves or something, bro. So, like I said, this was put together over time, and y'all do not let Tahuti fool y'all into thinking that this was something that was short and sweet. Over centuries, this has been put together, and it was done at the 2nd century A.D. Now, what was the rest of your question?
What is the oldest origin date of the Septuagint?
And
I'm sorry, according to all of your sources, what is the oldest origin date of the Septuagint? I'm not here to discuss how people added on to it. People put things in the Bible. The original origin date of the Septuagint, what is that date?
the original origin date is not important for the simple fact, like I said, it was put together over centuries of time. So it don't matter if it all wasn't together, because they added the other 34 books later on. If you was listening to my goddamn presentation, you would have heard that. Why is it that you're not listening, brother? It was put together over time. So the year, I don't really know the exact year, the very first one. I'm gonna be honest with you, but that don't make that you're gonna win this debate, because I don't know one question. You can't even show us who the Greeks were. The Greeks that translated this without Hebrews. You have nobody.
All right.
JJ7000. All these Hebrew books were called the Septuagint or the 70. Could you tell us why it was called that from a Hebrew perspective, please?
According to the legend, this is why it was called that. Because they said 70 Israelite scribes. This is why they calling it that. Because even the Greeks want to give the credit to the Israelites. This is a Greek letter giving credit to Israelites. If they wrote it, why wouldn't they give credit to themselves? Everybody asks that question. So yes, in that, the 70 means 70 Israelites. That's what it means, Tahuti. Who else are they giving? I still got time to speak. Who else are they giving this 70 credit to? It's not 70 Greeks. It's not 70 Greeks, bro. When are you going to show us the Greeks that did this? At least in your fake letter or the tale, it's giving the credit to Israelites and nobody else. So you can't even win with your fake letter, buddy.
All right, Tahuti.
Okay, I don't think JJ heard the question that I asked. I don't know if that's going to be in my time, but I asked from a Hebrew perspective. Remember, we're not using the fake letter. The letter is fake. It's gone. That's a false letter. Let's go by reality from the Hebrew perspective. From just the Hebrew perspective writings, why did the ancient Hebrews call their original Bible 70 or LXX or Septuagint? Why was it called that? Just from a Hebrew perspective, not from the Greek story. That's garbage. Just from you as a Hebrew, could you tell us the story of why they called it the Septuagint, please?
Yeah, because there was a legend, according to there's a legend, everybody, that 70 Israelites, you see, Tahuti, even your fake letter you lose, because they call it 70 because there's 70 Israelites who translated the Hebrew language over to the Greek. There's nowhere is it saying there are 70 Greek scribes and scholars who put this together and wrote it down. If they knew how to do this, if they knew the Hebrew, why would they invite Hebrews over to translate it? They dumbasses didn't even know how to speak it. They didn't know. So even with your fake letter, it's giving credence to Israelites. Even without your fake letter, I'm showing you a goddamn paper trail of how this language was transmitted and revised and passed down.
Time.
You ain't showing nothing.
Okay, so in other words, JJ,
Say time.
yes.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
In other words, JJ, you're telling us you have no ancient Hebrew story that explains anything in their culture about a Septuagint. You keep going back to the letter. That letter's garbage.
That's your source.
JJ, do you have a Hebrew source of why they would call their sacred scriptures the Septuagint? Why did the Hebrews do that according just to your story? Don't go by the letter. Just the Hebrew story. Give me the ancient Hebrew story of how it came to be in Greek from the Hebrews.
So you want a Hebrew talking about this, right? Let me find him. I got him in my notes. Hold up, buddy. I got a Hebrew for you. No. I got a Hebrew. That's his claim.
I'm not a Hebrew. An ancient Hebrew story.
Oh, don't turn this to a circle.
An ancient Hebrew story from their perspective in those times of why they did it. Not some Jewish rabbi from 10 years ago. I want the Hebrew story from the Hebrews, the ancient ones
I'm going to give
that
it
were
to
there
you,
in that
bro,
time.
if you
Yes.
give me time, bro. I didn't interrupt you. Let me find
Okay.
it in my notes. Stop the time
Just-
for a second. I got you, buddy. Let me see where's his ass at. Let's see. Jewish man. Let me find him right here. Hold up. His name is Austeritas. Hold up, man. I'm not pronouncing it right. Let me find him. I got him right here. He has also claimed to have been one of the ones who wrote who translated. This was an Israelite. Let me find him. Real quick. Let me find him. Hold up. See, so just stop my time, son. So it don't affect.
No, you ain't got no time, brother. Just answer the question.
Okay, well,
And then
you know what? Like I said, I have an Israelite. I'm gonna look it up during when the people call, and I'm gonna show you this is an Israelite. I told it to Garfield the other day. So I'm gonna pull him up. This is an Israelite saying that he was also part of the translation. Arstolius. Let me look it up. But other than that, I can't pull it up right now. But during the question, people were calling. I got you. I got over 160 goddamn slides, bro. Let me go through it. I got you.
To save either one of you brothers in this debate, Nepal has risen the bar when she debated Black Jesus Minister the day before yesterday. She said, "My bad. I made a mistake. I was wrong." So I want to tell both of you brothers, it's all right to say, "I don't have it. I got to get it.
Right.
I'm wrong." It's all right to say that. You know why? Because nobody knows everything.
Right.
We act like when we admit that I don't know it or I'm wrong, it's like a loss. That don't mean you lose a debate. That shows that you are a smart and intelligent person. Because when you start making up shit and then you get yourself in trap, that's when you lose the debate. But when you say, I don't know that, let me go and look that up. That's the smartest answer you could give, brother.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that. Right now, we are in.
I got it right there.
No, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late, brother. Brother, it's too late. It's too late. We are moving forward now.
I'm gonna read
it's
it
too
before
late.
it's over with. No, it ain't gonna be.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Like in the question and answer, you can go into that.
I got his ass.
Okay. Now we are into the closing argument. Tahuti, you want to close out or you want JJ to close out?
He went first. I'm close. Let him. I'm closing out last. He went first, right?
That is true.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Close out. You got 10 minutes to close out.
Oh, so long. Okay, good. 10 minutes. Let me go ahead and
you can share your screen on the closeout.
Okay, thank you.
10-minute closeout, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hold up.
No, I didn't think we closed another 10 minutes.
No, I don't think we should take that long.
Damn,
that long.
What was it yesterday?
They just closed at like 3 minutes. It's a closing
three.
I think it was 5 minutes.
Okay.
3 to 5 minutes is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Go ahead, Tootie.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Again, I'll just show the screen again. JJ must show a primary source reference from ancient Hebrew stating themselves that the dates of the time of the event that they took their Hebrew books, Genesis to Malachi, and turned it into Greek. This would be a major historical event and change in Hebrew tradition that could only have been permitted by the highest priestly authority, documented authority, and record of such an act. I asked JJ repeatedly, which I've asked him in this debate, where is the ancient Hebrew story which you have all witnessed this? I asked him just a minute ago, where is the ancient Hebrew story of this? And he consistently says, I don't have it right now. Just like he did in front of everybody, I don't have it right now. He may bring up Aristobulus. He may bring up a so-called Jew named Aristobulus, not knowing that Aristobulus was 100 BC. Unfortunately, that is 200 plus years after the Septuagint. So Aristobulus was... Anyways, we shall see if he has the document today. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, of this whole thing is that there are no ancient Hebrew texts of any full books that could have been translated, and that's why we don't find any ancient Hebrew books, full books. Remember, Genesis is a full book. Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, these are full books. They don't have any ancient full books that anybody could have translated into any kind of full Bible. I've asked JJ several times if he can present where are the books that they translated it from. He presents the Tanakh. He presents the Masoretic text. He presents Aleppo Codex. He presents the Dead Sea Scrolls. None of these go back to the time of the so-called prophets, and none of these are written in the ancient so-called Hebrew text. They're all written in this modern day. Can you see it? This is the actual papyri of the text that he's bringing up. This is modern day Hebrew with the dots, which he admitted in his own opening when he read the thing that the dots were added by modern day Masoretic people. JJ cannot show any of this. We are looking for the Hebrew rendition. That is what this debate is about. If you find a book in Greece, written in Greek, all we have is that it's a Greek book written in Greek, found in a Greek library. This is all we have. So all we know at that point is it's put together by those people, and that's why it's in Greek. We don't have any reference at all to anything that comes down to this language right here. JJ7000 has not presented an ancient Hebrew source of the story of how this got converted. He's about to quote Aristobulus, who actually quoted Aristes. He's about to quote Aristobulus, who quoted Aristes, the same letter that is thrown out. We cannot find any Hebrew full books in this text. I believe and I teach that the Greeks made this up. The Greeks created this Bible as they create Bibles today. They take things from ancient texts and they create their own stories based on it. Even the Hebrew language itself, they took it from the ancient Medu-Neter language. Except for they don't have a story of the origin of where this language actually comes from. Okay? When we look at the so-called Hebrew language that he's presenting, we find letters like Yod, which they're saying themselves that this is Proto-Semitic, and it related back to the hieroglyph arm Yod. These letters in these languages that these people think are actually a real language, they actually think it's a real language, is not a real language. It is a manipulated, mutated version of ancient languages, and that's why we can't find any ancient books in these languages. So when we go back to letters like Nun, you see the ancient Hebrew, and we go back to Nun, and we see seed fish, Meme waters, and we go back to the god Nun, and you can see the same exact image in the Medu-Neter that goes back 2,000 to 3,000 years before this so-called Hebrew language, such as right here on plate 7 of the Per Emharu. You can see the Nun there. So before the so-called Hebrews even got their language to write this so-called book, this already existed. That's why we cannot find any ancient books in any ancient language, because they started copying it afterwards. I want people to understand the stories were copied afterwards. Thank you.
All right, brother JJ, step up to the plate, brother. Mute yourself, Tahuti.
Okay.
JJ, let's close out. You got 5 minutes to close out, and then we're gonna open up the line. See if we could get a couple of questions.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen, family.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, for sure.
Your time
All
start, JJ.
Now, like I say, first of all, I'm going to address one thing. Like I say, your Council of Alexandria, that's fake. Your library, there is no such thing as an Alexandria library. That's a myth and a legend. You can't prove that. And your letter is fake. All that you drawn for, all that information that you drawn from, talking about the Greeks did this and that, you got it from all three fake sources. Your council is fake. The libraries has no proof, and that goddamn letter. Now let's get to where I'm talking about the chronological historical accounts of the translation of the Torah in 282 BC. This is our Aristobulus, quoted by Eusebius on the origin of Septuagint. The origin text of Aristobulus in 150 BC, quoted by Aristobulus in 325 AD. It is evident that Plato closely followed our legislation and has carefully studied the several precepts contained in it. For others before Demetrius and prior to the supremacy of the Alexander and the Persians have translated both the narrative of the Exodus and the Hebrews of our fellow countrymen from Egypt. But hold on, let me show you about this guy that he said it wasn't an Israelite. Let me read this real quick. What's his name? Here it is. Can I share this?
You sharing your screen now?
Oh, okay, okay. Now this brother right here is once believed to be Aristobulus of Panias, a Hellenistic Jew who says he was one of the translators. Now I'm not saying it's true, but this is what he's saying. You told me to show your Israelites saying it. There he is right there. There he is right there. And like I said, all out through this debate, Tahuti has not shown no paper trail, no trail of Greeks writing anything. I just showed you an Israelite right there who said he was Aristobulus. All right? He is one of the ones who said he's a part of this, if you want to go by that. Artilius tells us that there were prior Aramaic translations of the Hebrew Bible for the Jews in Egypt prior to the rise of Alexander the Greek. Let me read that to you again. Aristobulus, who's an Israelite, tells us that prior to the Aramaic translations of the Hebrew Bible for Jews in Egypt, prior to the rise of Alexander the Great, this must have been an Aramaic translation. That the translation from the Old Testament from the Hebrew into Greek was made by 70 or more elders. I mean, if you want to go by that, he's including himself as one of them. So there's other stories out there besides that letter. But what I'm saying, there's other people out there saying that they translated this. And this is the Israelite that you asked for. Now, let me stop sharing. Like I said, everybody, hold up. Like I said, everybody, Tahuti has not brought any sources to this debate. None. All he brought was his pets to the goddamn debate. I was hoping one of them speak up and bring something. He ain't showed not one Greek scholar. He ain't showed not one Greek scribe. Why would the Greeks, if they did this, why would they invite Israelites? Because if they know how to translate it by themselves, they wouldn't need us. But in all the stories, and even the fake ones, it's including Israelites, including his letter that he used at the beginning of the debate when he said it was his source. And trust and believe me, I'm going to rewind that, and I'm going to play it. So never heard it. That's why he's shaking his head. You said that at the beginning of the debate. Maybe not, sir, but we can rewind it. I ain't going to put you in it. I ain't gonna put you in it, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I ain't gonna put you. I love Tahuti, man, but you gotta start with the Lucky Charm tricks, bro. You can't come in the debate saying, "Yes, this is my source," and then in the middle of the debate, "Oh, well, I don't believe my source." You're a walking contradiction. You're a double-minded man, and you need to come home to this Bible and drop all that Kemetic nonsense and come home to this truth. But like I said, hold up. He want to talk about the language of the Israelites ain't for real. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Let me share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen.
20 seconds.
Okay, share the screen real quick. Let me show this real quick. All right, this is the ABCD family tree. Now, we understand that a lot of things come from Egypt. We understand that. But as you can see, Hebrew is a language. Don't ever let nobody come here and fool you and saying it ain't. It's saying it ain't. And then, like I say, if you want to talk about the Greek can line up with the alphabet. The Beth, the Gamma, the Dollar, the A. Then you go to the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. It all lines up. And with that being said, the people test But like I said, everybody, man, I appreciate everybody coming out. And
we are now at the stage of the question and answers. Put my number in there, family. I just want y'all to ask a question. I don't need y'all to give to come in and teach. You know, I always ask the first questions. Brother JJ, do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right, I got the first question for you, JJ.
All right.
Do you have any books? No, first I want to ask you, is the original text of the Bible is the same as the text of the Bible today, like as in the King James version of the Bible?
No, it's not.
Are they saying the same thing, or are they totally different from one another?
Okay, no, son, they're not totally different. What we have here, like I say, is communication, upgrading, revision. You know what I'm saying? Updating the different texts, you know, to coincide with the Hebrew. There's always going to be updates because sometimes people don't get it right, but we're checking ourselves. They're checking themselves.
Oh, okay. So hold on. So you're saying that from the original text of the Bible, the King James version is an updated version. Is that what you're saying to us?
Well, basically, it's like cultural context. We're speaking to over thousands. They're speaking to a different audience.
Is it an updated version or a cultural context, brother? Because I'm going by what you said.
Okay. All right, son. All right, hold up. It's an update. It's updated to the language that we speak. So
got you. So you're saying that the English is more proven and can prove it better than the original text because you said it's updated.
No, but I never said how you put it, bro. I said that the person who's trying to transmit this information to us, they're gonna communicate with us like we say capping. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's start this over so we can get clear, so you can understand. I don't want to try to trip you up.
Okay.
Let's do this over.
Let's do it over then, brother.
All right. Is the original text of the Bible saying something totally different from the English version, the King James version, brother? Meaning the original Bible, the original text.
Okay.
You see? Like if you was to ask me, JJ, oh, I see this book right here, the Egyptian Book of the Dead is written in English. Is the original text of the Medu Neter totally different from this? Right? I would have said yes, because if it's written in English, I would say of course. If you really want to know the true meaning of it, you got to go to the original text and read the Medu Neter. I would say yes. So, but you're saying yours, the English is an upgrade.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying, Sarnetta, is that the Bible that we have today are not using some of the same words because they're talking to a different audience, but it's not totally off from the premise of the book. The book is telling you the law, statutes, commandments. In Hebrew, it's going to tell you the law, statutes, commandments in goddamn English.
So you're saying that the English changed the word of the original text?
I'm saying the English is communicating with us because we speak in English. I'm not saying it changed the. Okay, Tootie. I'm not saying it changed the context of the scripture. I'm saying they made it more.
I'm not going to drill this point because, I just wanted to get the test. I'm going to let it go because I don't want people thinking I'm trying to trap my brother JJ. I'm going to let that go. We got a caller coming in.
Okay.
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's happening?
Uh-oh.
All right, Black Jesus Minister, we're going to wait till Tahuti come back. And I want to let you know why we got JJ on the line. JJ calls himself JJ7000, the People's Champ. And you call yourself the House of Consonants Champion with these belts you got. So it's going to have to be a duel between you two, man. You can't be running from this. I'm going to be getting this trophy by next week. And we're going to put this thing up, man. And y'all two can't be kissing each other bunky, man. Y'all going to have to come up in here and throw some blows, brother.
So now have we already done that? We already done that twice.
See, DJ sound like he's scared, brother. You can no longer call yourself the People's Champ.
We're a coalition over here, bro.
No, listen to me, bro.
Exactly. Why don't you break up? Why don't you go ahead and break up some of them non-believers over there?
Okay.
Get a trophy for them.
Okay.
Get a trophy for some of them Bible haters.
I tell you what, Jesus.
Hold on.
No, hold on, brother. You hold on, brother. You hold on. How about if you debate Nepal for a championship title? How about you? On the topic of the sacrifice of the child. Remember that. Y'all was talking about not just the child, but the human sacrifice. How about that, Black Jesus?
Now, okay, listen to me good. Now, first of all, that was my first debate for this year. And so I would not want to exclude everybody else in a championship match with me and Nepal when Nepal has not proven herself to be a champion this year, because whether you believe it or not, she lost that debate with me. So there are other contenders. Hold on. Nepal needs to debate Yara. She needs to debate Pastor Bennett. She needs to debate some top-notch people before she comes to the back-to-back champion Black Jesus Minister. If I decide to continue to debate,
all right, we got Tahuti back, brother. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do have a question. Okay, brother Tahuti.
You got to go on mute, Tahuti, because you're making an echo. Go ahead, Black Jesus.
Okay. I hope that Brother Tahuti will agree that there were that there were Jewish Greek scholars that included Philo and Josephus and many other Jewish scholars that were in Greece and throughout the Greek Empire. So, Brother Tahuti, were you able to demonstrate tonight any other contemporary translations with the Septuagint, which also includes the Dead Sea Scrolls, because the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint were both dated around the 300 BCE. All right, both of them, and two separate sources now. Were you able, sir, to confirm with the contemporary source of the Dead Sea Scrolls or any other contemporary or older sources to be conflicting which would prove that the Greeks made up the Septuagint? Is it consistent with contemporary versions and older versions, or does it contradict?
Great. Wonderful question. So first of all, to answer that question, the Dead Sea Scrolls are not biblical scrolls. That's step one. Only a small percentage of all the scrolls that were found in the caves of Qumran are of biblical context, and of those scrolls, the ones that are found there are 2nd century BC to 1st century AD. So thus they're younger. They're also copies. They are not actual scrolls that were written by the scribes. So for the Dead Sea Scrolls is much after the Septuagint. And what was the other part of the question about contempt? Oh, the translation.
Let me just ask the second part. I think you hit that pretty good. Do you believe that the Greeks spent money and time and energy and years and perhaps decades putting the Septuagint together to deceive themselves, or to create reliable copies?
Okay. Wonderful question again. And I wanted to hit the point of the translation. I don't believe anything was translated. There's no ancient books that have been found to show that there was a translation of any ancient books. And do I believe that the Greeks back then and today spend millions of dollars to deceive people religiously? I would say absolutely yes, and I'd like to show a quick screen share just to show you something that was going on.
No, I said themselves, sir. I didn't say people. I said themselves because the Septuagint was not written for the people. It was only written for the aristocracy and the leaders. Don't do that.
Am I screen sharing, sir?
Yes.
Okay, here are the Ptolemies. Here is the Ptolemy that's actually the one dated to the time of the Septuagint. Does this man look like he cares anything about the Bible? Does he look like he wants the Bible for himself? That he cares about Moses, any kind of Hebraic law? Or does this man, according to his own statutes made by the indigenous people, his Greek people, show that in every regard and everything that he did was in actuality to imitate Kemetic culture? This man was not taking any kind of Septuagint and translating it for himself. This man here looks like he's not interested in a Septuagint at all. He has more Egyptian paraphernalia than me. So do I believe they took the time to make it for eventual deception of others? Absolutely yes. Are their own entertainment? Yes. I have no proof of anything else.
All right, I'll stop right there, brother. Great debate, both of you brothers. Great debate.
Thanks,
JJ won.
Stop being scared and take on the Paul. All right, thank you, Black Jesus.
I'll tell you what.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, hold on, Senator. Tell the people I need 10,000 subscribers at Black Jesus Minister YouTube, and I will debate JJ.
No,
okay?
I want you to debate Nepal now.
Okay,
I think you could beat JJ.
I need 10,000 subscribers.
All right, brother. All right, let's get it in, family. Let's go, man. This is the time.
Hey, Sonetter?
Yes.
If there's in between calls, if there's no call in, can any of us address anything else? Or
yes.
Okay. Is there a call coming in now?
Yes. Peace and Black Power, family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Yasha Ben Israel calling from Detroit. I like the part of the debate where JJ7000 talked about the Ptolemy Council. The Ptolemy Council, the Alexandrian Council, and Tahuti talked a lot about that. And when Jay caught him in that, then he changed it to the Alexandrian Library. But there is no archaeological evidence that this Alexandria Library ever existed.
What's the question?
What's your question, brother?
Is there any archaeological or historical credible evidence that the Alexandrian Library ever existed? Tahuti?
Is that the question?
Yes. Is there any archaeological evidence and valid, credible, sufficient evidence of the Alexandrian Library outside of that mythological Aristeas letter?
No, very good question. As far as the area that it was in the collection of books, yes. As far as anything actually being called a Library of Alexandria, there is a debate on that. There's not enough credible evidence to log in that there was ever such a one building called the Library of Alexandria, just that the Alexandrians were collecting a multitude of books. So we have no evidence of anything that's being called that. I'm just calling the area by its modern day terminology. And remember the title of this debate. So I'm just dealing with the fact that this book, this papyrus, or this thing that's called the Septuagint originally is found in that area.
Hold up, time out. JJ, your screen is not froze, brother. Your screen is not frozen.
The Septuagint dates back and goes back to that area, to those people. And if there's any evidence showing that the Septuagint of 287 goes anywhere else, then I'm open to hear it. Whether today that area was called the Library of Alexandria or not, I'm just looking for evidence that the Septuagint of 287 BC goes back to any other people putting it together.
Okay. I have one more question for you and I'm done. being that the library is myth, okay, there's no evidence of that. Just like how you say the Israelites, because there's no evidence of an Old Testament, prior to the Septuagint, like it doesn't exist. We have to use that same logic with this library, and I think you agree. So you built your premise, your entire argument off of 3 mythological sources. My question becomes, how logically is that not a fallacious argument in which you had laid forth tonight? And I'm out.
Great question. So first of all, it is incorrect that I did not build my argument off of those as sources. I please need the public and everybody to understand, I do not take the stories of the Ptolemies as real. The letter of Aristides is not what the base of the argument is. I am simply saying that what is called the Septuagint of 287 BC traces back archaeologically to that area, written in the language of those people, and it's only in the Greek. If there's something evidence that can be shown that that particular writing traces to any other culture, that they put it together, then I am open to hear it. Okay, so if anybody, including yourself, and by the way, is this where did JJ go? JJ's gone. Yasha, are you still there, Yasha?
No, he's gone. He's gone.
Okay, JJ, real quick, you still promote the Lions Den?
Of course.
Okay, good. Was that the Lions Den current champion that was asking me a question?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, and so we got Lions Den champion and Black Jesus minister. Okay, so
they can't call in?
Yeah, they can call. I just noticed there are Lions Den people, but yeah. So I just want to say that I don't go by those things as the facts. I just go by the archaeological thing that we have. We have a books of Genesis to Malachi in Greek, found in an area controlled by Greeks, of which the Ptolemies controlled the area of the time. We have no reference to it being written by anyone else other than those people, and so I don't add conjecture.
All right. Let me say this before I bring on my brother, Dr. Reggie.
Hey,
Put yourself on mute, brother.
Yes.
Hold on, JJ. I'm going to say this, man. Y'all could run, but you can't hide. If you're not going to take on the Paul for the title, then y'all don't have no goddamn title. All this running and ducking and hiding. Nah, we ain't playing these games. You don't want a woman to come in and take the belt from your ass. We're not playing these games, Black Jesus minister. You will forfeit your title. You can't debate who you want to debate and run from who you want to run from. Y'all going to have to stand up like men and take on these goddamn debates, man.
I got it.
You running. Hold on, JJ.
Okay.
All this old running stuff, people is not going to recognize that as a belt. All right. So, go ahead, JJ, before I bring in Reggie.
Yeah. All right. Before you bring this dude in, like you said, if he any disrespects he got to go.
He's not disrespecting. He knows Reggie. Come in with questions, and that's it, brother Reggie.
Okay, yeah. Because the last time me and him had a dialogue, he was very disrespectful. I don't even want to have a debate with this dude because this was supposed to be his debate. He ran.
All right, relax, calm down, JJ.
So you bring him in.
You starting it up.
Disrespectful. He got to go.
He's not going to be disrespectful. Brother Reggie, let's come on in, brother Reggie.
Thank you so much. Thanks to you, Sarnetta, and your very intelligent audience. You watched a very spirited debate. My issue is that in Acts 9:29, it was the Hellenistic Jews that tried to kill Paul. They tried to kill him. My question to JJ7000 is, why is he putting so much effort and credit on the Hellenistic Jew, right? Who tried to kill the followers of Christ? Who are you? If you are Hebrew, you don't accept Christ.
Come on with the question.
If you are
Relax, JJ, please, brother.
Dude, man.
Relax. So what? It's all right, brother. Relax, brother. Let the man ask the question.
It's a very simple question. who are you? Or are you a Israelite?
Okay.
Or you a lover of Christ? Based on this whole conversation, the Septuagint has to do with Hebrew. It has nothing to do with Hebrew Israelite. I'll stop and I'll listen to you babble.
Okay. And you know what, Sarnetta? I'm not even gonna answer his question because I don't have.
Come, JJ, you got to stop, brother. You're losing this battle right now, JJ.
How am I losing the battle? Don't
You've been doing good. You've been doing good up until now. You got to come on, man.
Yeah, but you
decorum, brother. Decorum. You can do it.
All right. First of
Don't
all,
let him. Hold up, JJ. Do not let a man razzle dazzle you, brother. Do not let nobody get under your skin without your consent. If you allow Reggie to get in your head and your feelings, then brother, you weak as hell. He's just asking the question. Answer that shit. Stand up, JJ. Go ahead. Knock Reggie out with your fucking answer.
Right. His dumbass question has nothing to do with the debate.
Man. Now see. Now hold up, Jay. Hold on, Jay. Hold on. You just said you didn't want him coming in disrespecting you. Now you coming in with your answer violating and disrespecting him. See what you're doing?
Okay, so by him saying me babbling,
he's laughing at you, brother. He's laughing at you.
So he's trying to mess the show up. By him saying that I'm babbling, that's not disrespect. Get him off the phone, sir. I'm gonna tell him like this. See, he's trying to mess the show up. I'm gonna tell you like this, Reggie. Your question has nothing to do.
That's a good question, brother. It's a real good question, JJ.
So why did the Jews try to kill Paul?
Answer the question, brother.
They tried to kill him because he was moving in the right spirit, the right way. He was not a Pharisee. So you can giggle and laugh all you want and try to disrupt this debate because you ran from this topic, coward.
All right, thank you, Reggie. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move forward.
Get his ass up out of here, coward. You're a coward. You're a coward.
All right, Brett. Yo, JJ, you were just telling him not to be disrespectful, brother.
You shouldn't even bring him on, bro.
All right, let me bring on Armin Ra McCarthy is in the building. Armin Ra, what's up, brother?
What's going on, family? What's going on?
All right, you got the floor, brother.
I just want to say I love the decorum, man. You know, even though I vehemently don't agree with Brother Tahuti, I can't help but be interested in what the brother is saying because he brings it, he shows us, some sources, and it's interesting. But overall, he does not believe. And so whenever you're debating somebody who don't believe, you're never going to get anywhere. You never. It's just like saying somebody's for abortion or not for abortion. You'll never get nowhere. You're not going to pull Tahuti into the fold, and you're not going to pull JJ over into what he's doing. It's just not going to happen. But I answer the question. I can tell you the reason why we can still talk about Hellenistic Jews as opposed to our love for Christ, because it's the same way as Black lives. Black people killing each other every day. We're the most number one murderer of us today, but I still love Black folk. I still love Black people, no matter what we're doing. It ain't all of us. But the question I had was when he was showing that Hebrew, when he was talking about the dot, I really don't understand that. I would like to understand more about the dots. Did they go back and put dots on stuff that was already there, or is the whole manuscript different, newer? And I'll hang up once I say also, the Holy Scriptures, you can't pinpoint every single person but contribute to the Scriptures. God, the Most High, is bigger than what we understand in a general sense. It's lifetimes, generations of.
You don't have to hang up when you ask your question. Go ahead, because I got a question for you. But go ahead.
Okay, it's a whole generations of the Most High dealing with men and putting things down, and nobody's going to be able to pinpoint every single thing, because that's where faith comes in. If I can prove every single thing, then you don't have to have faith, and that is the absolute root of our belief. But like you said, when you got somebody who don't believe at all, then you can't debate them. You got to be respectful and respectfully disagree and move on. You shake the dust, as the Bible says, shake the dust from your sandals and move on. If they don't believe it, they don't believe it.
Hey, can I address that?
All right, what's your question, brother?
Brother McCarthy, can I address what you said? See, I'm not trying to change Tahuti because, like I say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm trying to reach the people out there that's listening outside of the show, the 20, 30,000 people who see
All
this.
right, but JJ, let him ask the question, brother.
Okay, if I reach 2 people, I'm doing my job. Go ahead.
Yeah, I see you, brother. Now, my question was, I was asking about that Hebrew writing, because I'm not astute to original Hebrew and all, because the Word of God is alive today, and if you have a personal relationship, it don't matter what it was written in. It doesn't matter when you think it was written, as long as you get the information in it with your personal relationship. When you get into too much academics, you miss the boat. It's like seeing you miss the forest because you worry about the trees. You worry about the wrong thing. That's
okay.
I am interested. I'm interested in knowing the dots. That's what I was calling about. The
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Did they go back and put dots, or
the consonants?
The whole thing new?
All right, JJ. He asking Tahuti. Go ahead, Tahuti.
Okay. Go ahead.
Muted. Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Peace, brother Amin Ra
McCarthy.
Peace to you. I think you're one of the moderators, right?
Yes.
Okay. Peace to you. Yeah, I like the question. So yes, the Masoretic text is when they started adding the dots and vowels to create new sounds. This was done. They have it from 7th century to 10th century, and that's in the AD. So that's after Christianity, or CE, Christian era. What I was pointing out was that the Jews of modern day time and linguistics acknowledge that particular writing with the dots and even the way the letters are formed did not exist in the time of the prophets. In the time of the prophets, the language would have been Canaanite, Punic Canaaneum, or the Canaanite language, or what modern day is known as the Phoenician language. So if we have any scripture with the dots in that particular script, then we know that none of that was written by the prophets. It's all recopied, recreated. That doesn't go back to an ancient source. That was my point.
All right. Hey, Amin Ra McCarthy.
Yeah. Can I ask him one final question, respectfully?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be respectful.
Yes.
Tahuti, I just got one question for you, brother. Honestly, inside of you, do you think that man could have created the scriptures with all of the prophecies and all of the things that we've seen over time, and how it is compared, and it is so close to Kemet, but so close to other things? Do you think man could have created all of this that survived all this time and still being so deeply ensconced in people's lives positively today? Do you think man could have actually done that with no kind of help from the Most High? Do you honestly think that?
Hey, peace, brother. Absolutely. Because only man knows the emotion of man. So if man is going to create something that's going to emotionally affect you and keep you connected to a belief system, he knows the best way to do it because he's basing it off of his emotion. This is appeal to emotion. So if I'm going to create something, I'm going to create it with an emotional story of a Jesus who was sacrificed for me. He was whipped. He was beaten. That's going to have you emotionally tied. So 100%, absolutely. It was created, and I can actually walk you through and show you line for line where things were taken by the Ptolemies from the ancient Kemetic text. And the one thing I don't do is I'll never question your personal feelings. You have personal feelings with your religion. You have every right to have that. I only deal with the facts. So, Amin Ra McCarthy, can you hear me pretty clear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Okay, so Amin Ra McCarthy, just really quick, I believe you're the brother that I think your father was into Egypt, but he named you a Kemetic name, but you're really a Hebrew. Is that the same brother?
Yes.
No, not a Hebrew. I mean, my dad did name me, yes, and a lot of people give me a lot of slack because I follow Christ, but I got Amin Ra as a name, and they think that I named myself.
Right, no problem. I just wanted to verify that was you. So as a person that believes in Christ, when you walk up to, say, a person who's a Muslim who believes in the Quran, you can't question their emotional validity. All you can do is say, I don't believe in that. I'm not a Muslim. I think that I don't believe Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet. And you can do that with the Mormons and everybody. But what will each of them tell you? That they have a personal relationship and they felt the spirit of Allah. They felt the spirit of whatever their religion is. And you can never argue that. So, yes, and all of that, you will say man created the Book of Mormon, yes? Or do you believe in the Book of Mormon?
I mean, I believe they may have, but see, what I'm saying is there is no other book that doesn't follow the Most High that has lasted as long as they have and are still in such effect today. You got a lot of old writings, old papyrus, but they don't have the same effect today like the scriptures do. That's the only thing that's still out.
Can I back off what he said? Yeah.
Hold on, JJ.
The
Tahuti.
also believe in Christ.
Tahuti.
Yes, I was muted. Yes, Sonny.
Yes. I mean, not you, Tahuti. Amin Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many books of the Bible would you say is missing from the Bible?
Several. I have a scripture, holy scripture, but see, you got to get away from the word Bible, because when you say the word Bible,
hold on, Tahuti. I mean, hold on, Amin Ra. When I say Bible, I'm saying the Bible because everybody understand what I'm talking about. So,
okay,
how many
I'm
books?
Trying to get you to understand.
How many books have been taken out of the Bible or hidden or stolen out of the Bible? How many?
I can't tell you the numbers, but I had to count.
Have you read the missing books of the Bible?
Yes.
You read all of them,
just like that. Not all of them, sir. Of course not. That's a working process.
I said, have you read the missing books of the Bible? And you say yes.
Yeah, I have them, sir. I have them that I know of. Now, nobody knows how many total in the world. It could be way more out there that we don't know. But as far as the ones we do know, I have them.
Beautiful answer.
I have them. That's why we call them the Holy Scripture.
Now, with you answering that, is it a possibility that you could be living your life blaspheming your God right now because you haven't read all of the Bible? There are books that's missing right now that couldn't be saying something against each and every one of y'all today, but y'all wouldn't never know because there's books that's missing. Your God, the most powerful God in the world, has hidden the books from he who he said loved them. He said he loved you so much. He's not the author of confusion. So if God is not the author of confusion, why is he hiding his books from you?
Okay.
Why is he hiding the books from the Hebrews? He can be, like what I said, it could be something that you're doing that goes against what you read in one of the other books. Because we know that,
that's not possible.
Hold on. It is possible, brother, because we know that the books contradict each other all the damn time. We know that. We can go to Paul, we can go to John, we can go to Ecclesiastics, and you will find them contradicting each other. One say, don't lie. The Most High gets up into a goddamn lie and condone the lie. One say, don't kill. The Most High said, go ahead and kill all the people over there. It contradicts all the time. So I'm saying, what if these missing books that y'all have never read is telling you not to do this or not to do that, and y'all out there doing it anyway? Go ahead, Amin Ra.
Okay. All right, brother. It contradicts to you because you don't have a personal relationship. It don't contradict to the ones who are a part of the fold, brother.
Okay.
It's only confusing to you and those who don't believe and who are trying to find fault. If you have a personal relationship, it don't contradict because the Bible doesn't contradict itself. It's just for those who cannot rightly divide the word of God. You don't understand and it goes over your head. That's the problem. And so only when you seek him, because he said, seek me. I ain't gonna just put it in your face. Seek me, because the ones who seek him are the ones who are gonna be with him, and the ones that are chosen to be with him if you seek him. But if you sit on the outside and talk and point fingers and talk about this is wrong and right and this and that, you're not gonna never understand, bro.
JJ in church, he loving this.
Listen, Si. If your father and I grew up with my father. I don't know if you did or not, but if a son with his father and lived with his father all his life, and it's some things his daddy never told him. But I bet you know enough not to cross your daddy. I bet you know enough how to please him or to displease him, whether he told you everything or not, because you have a personal relationship with your father. And those on the outside looking in, they would never know. So if you write a note to, like I say all the time, if you write a note to Nepal and I take that note and go show it on the net and talk about it years from now, they would never know because they not y'all. Only she knew what you meant because y'all have a personal relationship. So people can point fingers, talk crazy all day, but it's going to go over your head until you seek him. And one day, sir, you're going to have to seek him, brother. And when you do, that's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day once you find it.
All right. Hey,
you got music in the background, Tahuti.
That's the ice cream truck.
Hey, listen. Now, Armand Rob McCarthy is one of the newest Lions Den members, and he ain't no joke. Lions Den member just coming out the woodworks, boy. Hey, I'm telling you, man, in 2022, we will go undefeated on this show. I guarantee it. Tahuti already lost this one, But hey, like I said, respectfully, this brother talking about where you can find the source. I'll send it to you. I'll put it in the chat. Dr. D. Bridge.
All right, brother.
All right. Go ahead, Tahuti. You gotta turn that music off, brother. Turn the music off.
It's if you're hearing it, it's probably an ice cream truck down the block. You're probably hearing.
All right. I don't want to get they're gonna stop the thing, so you gotta hold on mute. Go ahead, Ra, you can speak.
I was gonna say Tidy must be on the West Coast. Well, it's still a little early because it's cold for ice cream. Well, where I'm at.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say thank you for letting me say that. And I saw you were talking about people debating the pie. That's a great sister, man. She had some great information last night. I disagree, but it was great. But if you do have them, so I don't think you can moderate, bro. You gotta let somebody else moderate because you're supposed to protect your wife.
Yes,
you're supposed to.
So let me ask you,
I'm in Ra.
You said there's no contradictions.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand. So let me ask you, does your Most High God condone lying? Because once he'll tell you one of the worst things he hates is a lying tongue, and we should never lie. But then he turns around and condone lies and say it's all right to lie. And I'm even going to put the spirit of a lie in you so you can go down and lie to the people. So would you say that that's contradiction, or I just don't understand what it's talking about?
Hey, Sarnetta,
and when I say you don't understand, when I say you don't understand, so I'm not being disrespectful.
No, I got you. I feel what you're saying. Don't worry about it. I got you.
I'm just saying. Okay, what I'm saying is because God tells you if you're gonna continue to lie or continue to do what you're gonna do, I'm gonna let you believe it. I'm gonna let you believe that. I'm gonna turn you over to a reprobate mind, and you can believe what y'all want to believe. All the folk that want to keep doing this, and I'm showing you the way. If you want to continue to do it, then I'm gonna let you believe it. I'm gonna make you believe. Matter of fact, I'm gonna harden your heart so that you can go on off the hill with the rest of them.
So God is going to be that wicked and harden the hearts of men and women, brother?
That's not wicked, Si. You made the choice. That's not
wicked. Hold up. Stop, brother. If I come to you and come to your house and your baby is in the house and I harden the heart of your child where it would never listen to the mother or the father again, you telling me that's not wicked, brother?
Yes, that would be, but he's not doing that to a child, Si.
That's where I disagree. For us, we are his children, right? Wouldn't we be God's children?
Though, Si. We're grown, though, Si. You made it seem like a little child.
No, brother. We are grown to us, each other, but to God and the Almighty, we are children, brother. Aren't we, according to your religion, your belief? We are God's children, right?
We are God's children.
Thank you, brother.
Those who listen to me, though, Si. Listen to me. He gives all of his children free reign to make decisions, whether you're going to make good, moral, holy decisions or you're going to make evil decisions. If you go out there and kill babies and doing all kind of stuff, raping women and all that, and then somebody tries to bring you into the fold and show you what's right and that's wrong, and you continue to do it, then God will turn you over to it.
But I want to stay on this point right here. Is it righteous for God to mislead people, to harden the hearts of people? And another question, according to you, do we have a free will? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if we have a free will, why would God harden the heart of man? If somebody don't want to listen, isn't that their responsibility? God gave them a free will. If they don't want to listen, so what? So be it. Let me leave them alone because I gave them that free will. Okay. So how come God got to come down and chastise him because he don't want to listen? Go ahead,
problem. Pharaoh had his issues, right? And God tried to give him the message and gave him several chances to come over. But then God hardened his heart. He hardened his heart.
Why?
For the rest of
listen, I don't think you understand what I'm saying, brother. Why would God interfere if God gave him a free will to not listen? God gave him a free will to not let the people go if he don't want to go. He had that right. You know why? Because your God gave him the permission to not let the people go. So I don't get it. Is God backpedaling off of what he gave us? What's going on?
No. What is going on is he was trying to show how strong he was to the rest of the people. See, Pharaoh was in charge of.
See, family, this is what these religious minds would do. They will try to rationalize everything that you say. Go ahead, but I'm gonna let my brother speak. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. What he was doing, Saab, all the people who were under Pharaoh were following whatever Pharaoh did. Thought Pharaoh was just like God. But when God told him, look, let my people go, I'm going, and everything will be fine. But you continue to not do that. So what happened? He put plague after plague on the people. It wasn't just on Pharaoh. It was for the people to say, damn, what is going on? Pharaoh, you can't handle this man? You can't handle this lowly Hebrews God? You're going to let him bring blood, locusts, plagues on us? And so he continued to harden his heart so the people would come. And when they left, Egyptians went with them. And that was the whole thing. And Pharaoh stayed and got destroyed, but it opened up the minds of the people who were demented and caught under the foot of Pharaoh.
And guess what, now, McCarthy? Guess what, Armin Rob McCarthy? And even after Moses led them out, the God of the Hebrews, the bipolar God, turned around and wanted to kill each and every one of them. And Moses had to say, God, what are you doing? Repent from your wickedness. Now, this is Moses talking to God, telling him to repent from your evil ways. What the hell? You got Moses talking to God like that to repent from your wickedness? And guess what God told him? God said, yes, I repent from my evilness and wickedness. And he allowed the people to live. Now, come on, brother.
You want me to explain that? You want me to explain that to you?
You want to explain that? Go ahead, explain.
Yes, because I got a relationship, brother. I got a relationship.
Explain it.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
Explain it, brother.
Okay. The reason why, because look what all God had done for these folks. And then you get over there and steal, backbite, you steal, turn to other gods.
But didn't God knew that before he told Moses to go get them? So why would God tell him to go down and get them? What was the purpose? So, brother, this is getting crazy. God already knew that. And he still told Moses to go and get him because your God wanted to kill him, wanted to get rid of him. But he could have left them there in the hands of Pharaoh. But he didn't. He wanted to free them. And when he freed them, what happened? Come on, Amin Ra. You don't want this smoke. You don't want this smoke, Amin Ra. You in the wrong league. You over there with JJ7000. He's not going to teach you how to get out of this. He got an ass whipping for goddamn 5 or 6 years messing with us over here. So, brother, you in the wrong league. You better repent, brother, and come on over here. Come on over to the house of consequences. Go ahead, brother.
I'll say one last thing. The burden of proof is not on us. Because the bottom line is when this shit is all over, every knee, including yours, if you see that day, is going to bow. Tahuti knee gonna bow, Jabari knee gonna bow, Brother Reggie knee gonna bow. Every single one that's under the sound of my voice, whether you talk crazy about me in the chat, you want to throw up signs, you want to talk crazy, all of that doesn't mean nothing to me. The bottom line is when you see them coming, you're gonna be like, damn, I should have listened. But then guess
Hey,
what?
Tahuti, finish him off. JJ already ran. JJ ran already.
Okay.
JJ left him hanging.
brother Amon McCarthy. Are you there, my brother?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
Okay. So yes, you're saying that the contradictions exist because we don't have the feeling of it in our hearts. Something to that effect, right?
You said the contradictions because of what, brother?
We see the contradictions because we don't have the feeling of the Lord, or we don't have this personal relationship.
We don't understand.
The understanding. Okay. Let me ask you a question, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Do you think it was fair for I don't know if you're familiar with Michal, the daughter of Saul, for Michal, the daughter of Saul, to go her whole life and have no children to the day of her death? What do you think about that? Are you familiar with that story? Are you familiar with?
Can I say something, please?
No, I'm asking.
No, let him finish. Let him finish, eh?
Brother McCarthy. Brother McCarthy.
I can tell you, I'm not too familiar. I'm not too familiar with that story, but if you give me the scripture, I will read it, and the Lord will give me discernment. Then I can explain it to you. I'm not quick off the hip like maybe an apostle or somebody who knows all of the scriptures by heart. I don't know them like that, but when I do read them, I get light immediately. So I mean, it's like I'm not familiar with that story too much to be able to. You're asking me. He said she couldn't have children until when? What'd you say? Is he still here?
Yeah, he here.
Oh, okay.
To the day of her death.
I'm on the phone. I'm not reading.
Okay. To the day of her death, she had no children. I just want to know, do you think that is fair? But you're not familiar with it. Maybe JJ is familiar with it. Are you familiar with Michal, the daughter of Saul, who didn't have children to the day of her death?
Hold up, brother. First of all, this has nothing to do with. Let's get back on topic. I'm not.
Brother, we getting ready to close out. He just asking questions to close this thing out.
No, I'm
just
done.
Remember what I said earlier, JJ. If you don't know, just say no. I'm not familiar with it. It's all right.
Okay, well, this is gonna be all right. What I said. I'm not interested in answering no questions that got nothing to do with the damn debate. Period.
All right, so you just fall back and let us deal with one of your members in the Lions Den. We'll beat up your member in the Lions Den while you sit back and fall back.
He got it.
Okay. So the Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no children to the day of her death, and I was asking you, do you think that's fair? You said you're not familiar with the story. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know the reason why that's her, but there's a lot of women who don't.
Tahuti, you should have your headphones because you got an echo.
Yeah, let me put my headphones in.
Go ahead, Amara.
Yeah, what I was saying is I don't know the reason why he calls that. I don't know why. I don't say it's not fair. It's a lot of women who don't have children to the day of their death. It's a lot of women who can't have children. If they just don't have children, just don't have children. Maybe he had a reason. Maybe he knew her line would cause some kind of issue down the line, or some generations past. Who knows? I don't know. If the scripture don't tell you why, then I don't know why.
Okay, wonderful.
There's a lot of women who don't have kids, bro.
Okay, wonderful. Can you hear me, my brother?
Yes, he hear you.
Yeah.
Can you? Okay, am I screen sharing right now?
Yes.
Okay, so here we.
See it though, because I'm on the phone.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. It says, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no children to the day of her death. Okay, that's 2 Samuel 6:23. You're not familiar with that. Okay, I'm gonna jump over to 2 Samuel 21:8, where it talks about it names these people, and it says, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up from Adriel, son of Berzia and Meholio. So Michal. Yes.
Nepal want to answer that. The one that beat up Black Jesus yesterday. Go ahead, Nepal.
Wants to answer what?
Very good debate, and I just wanted to come in here. You know, I have love for everybody, but
before I answer the question.
Can you get off the speaker so we can hear you?
Yeah, before I answer the question, it's like everybody's like, no, we don't want to debate Nepal, but a lot of people don't even know the Bible well enough. And no diss, but how are you going to defend the Bible when you don't even know it? That's one of the basic stories of the Bible. Anyway, the reason that she didn't have she had children with Palti, and when David took her, so she was betrothed to David because he beat up the Philistines for Saul. Saul thought that David would get killed. He didn't. He promised her to him, and then Saul fell out with him, so she went and married Palti. She married another man. So David was like, okay, I'm back in charge. I want my wife. But she was already married. Like, she had children with him. So David went and they took her from her husband. David was wilding out. Shout out to King David, the ancestor. He took it. So he didn't just commit, I guess you could say it was adultery because she was betrothed to him in the first place, but whatever. Her father called off the betrothal, which is legal in Torah. Your father can call up a betrothal. So basically, she didn't commit adultery to marry Palti. So when she married Palti, David was like, let me flex on everybody and let me go get her. And then, can you imagine? That's why she was salty when he was dancing and his loincloth was coming up. He was dancing in front of the ark. And she was like, damn, he's showing all his goods to all these people. And when he came in, he was so happy. And she was like, oh, I saw you out there, showing all your goodies to the maidens out there. So then so they already had some kind of animosity. That's my point. Because when you read the story, you instantly are told, oh, she's a wicked woman. She was so wicked to him. She didn't treat him right. And that's why he went with the other daughters. But he took her from her husband and children. See the backstory? David had her taken because he was like, he didn't even have to take her like that. But he did because he was showing off. Like,
she raised them from children. She raised them from children.
She married another man. She was supposed to marry David. Saul fell out with David, wanted to kill David. Obviously, the betrothal was off. She married Palti, a whole different guy. David had him. When he went and got her, you'll read the scripture, the man loved her so much. He loved Palti. He was following behind crying, like, please give me my wife back. So it wasn't just like, she was like, oh, David, I'm so glad you're here. He kidnapped her from her husband, and she was miserable.
All right.
So that's
Thank
the
you.
story. That was the answer, Tahuti. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair for him to take her at all.
No, okay, that's good. Thank you for that. What I was wondering is was it fair? She said she was childless until her death. So was that fair? Just yes or no. Was it fair for her to be childless until her death? That's what it said.
She wasn't childless. She had children with Palti before.
Oh, so when it said Michael, the daughter of Saul, remained childless throughout her entire life, who is that?
They're talking about with David. She didn't have children with David.
She remained childless throughout her entire life. Is just talking about childless with one person?
Yeah, talking about the king. They don't care. Palti was nobody to them. Like if you see the slave owners thinking, when they broke up families here with chattel slavery, they didn't consider us family. They didn't consider us at all. She already had a whole family. She had a husband, children, and she was taken. And then David took her back and had her living with him. But I gave you the back information on why she was upset, why she had the attitude, why she was so salty when he was out there. It wasn't just that she was a bitter, jealous woman. He kidnapped her from her family. So she did have a family before she went there, and she was childless. She didn't have any children for David.
All right. Thank you, Nepal. We're going to move forward. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Okay. She didn't have any. She
wasn't talking about you, Amin Ross. She was talking about JJ and Black Jesus Minister scared to debate her, but they don't even know that story. That's what she was talking about.
Okay. JJ7000. You said you only.
Yeah, whoa.
JJ.
Whoa. Hold up. Now, see, we're not going to sit up here and push no false narrative that JJ7000 scared to debate Nepal. We're not going to do that. There's 3 times that Nepal has canceled a goddamn debate.
I thought I only want to talk about the debate topic.
All right, come on, go ahead, Tahuti.
I'm sorry, I thought JJ only want to talk about the debate topic.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
JJ, we'll talk about that another time. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tahuti.
Okay, JJ, can you hear me, my brother?
Yes, he hears you.
Okay, I try to address JJ with something. He said he only want to talk about the debate topic.
Yeah.
No problem.
The answer is over, brother. We talking to the audience.
Oh, okay. No, I'll talk to the audience then. Yeah. So, audience, to show something really quick to the audience that
you steady trying to get points after the debate.
1 second, please. Hold on.
Hey, Amara, you got any more questions? Or are you good?
No, the question. I don't have any more questions.
Okay,
all right,
so
all right, thanks, brother.
That you gotta live in the spirit, man. Don't worry about who wrote what, when they wrote it. Live in the spirit.
You got your echo going on, Tahuti.
Why is he steady staring the screen and debate over?
Because you said you don't want to talk about nothing but the debate, so he's dealing with the debate.
So get some more information after that. Go ahead. All right.
All right, thanks, Amara.
I got more information when he get done.
That when I predicted that JJ was going to show Aristobulus, and I mentioned that Aristobulus is in the 100 BCs, which is 100 or 200 years after the Septuagint, he actually showed this, and he actually showed the Aristobulus that Aristobulus couldn't have been one of the writers. He couldn't have been there in the 287 BC because he's 150 BC. Also, this is not even a quote from Aristobulus' original primary source. He's quoting from Eusebius. I just wanted the audience to know who exactly Eusebius is. Eusebius is actually the advisor of Constantine. Constantine is actually the creator of modern day Christianity and the Bible under the Constantine Council. This is Eusebius. Eusebius was in 325 AD, and it was in 325 AD that Eusebius started quoting Aristobulus about the Ptolemies. So once again, the dates will always be the enemies of these religious people because they can never give a reference from the time of the event. This man is quoting the father of Christianity's assistant, Eusebius. Everybody go and look up Eusebius, and you will see that Eusebius is Constantine, the devil Constantine's advisor, and he was alive in 325 AD, quoting somebody from 150 BC, but the question I asked for the Jewish reference is a reference from 285 BC. So I just wanted the audience, since JJ is not talking about this, I just wanted the audience to know who exactly JJ was quoting. He was quoting the assistant of the father of Christianity, Eusebius. I just wanted everybody to know who Eusebius was. It's just fair for people to know that. Okay.
Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, like I said, bro, this debate is over. There's no more question to answer. Hold up, so there's no more question to answer. But I got a question for you.
There's no more question. There's no more question and answers. But you have a question for me.
Between you and I, bro.
But you have a question for me.
Yeah, I got one for you.
You said, let me just to be clear. Just to be clear, please. You said there's no more question and answers between me. Please. You said there's no more question and answers between me and you. But you have I probably need to finish the sentence. I'm going to finish my sentence.
Let the man finish
my sentence. You said there's no more question and answers between me and you, but you have a question for me. That's your sentence, right? Okay. Just wanted to show the chaos.
Yeah. The chaos is what you said in the beginning of the debate, that this was your source. Now I'm rewind and play it for your ass. We're finna get off TV right now. I'm finna show you right now how you lied, and you said at the beginning of the debate that letter was your source. Now watch this.
The beginning of the debate. This is the debate.
I'm finna show you what you said.
This is the debate.
I'm finna show you what you said. Be quiet. Hold up. Let me rewind this tape, because Tahuti trying to lie. Rewind it. Trying to keep talking while I rewind this to the beginning of the goddamn debate. Watch Tahuti. Watch the. Here we go. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let me show you where you said at the beginning of the debate, when you played your video, that this was my source. Did you not say that, Tahuti? Did you not say that?
Am I on mute? Can you hear me, JJ? Can you hear me, JJ?
You echoing, Tahuti. You echoing.
Okay, hold on. Let me put my
Nigga
headphones in.
trying to keep the debate. The debate over, bro. You ain't show no one Greek source, not one Greek scribe.
Are you asking me a question? Are you asking me a question, sir?
Hey, let's do the last caller. I'm done with this.
Are you asking me a question?
No, I'm not asking you the question. No, I'm not, magician.
Are you schizophrenic?
No, I'm not
schizophrenic?
No.
Is this Tourette syndrome?
I know you're trying to redeem yourself. Go ahead and show more slides. I don't need no more slides.
You just said you're asking me a question. Now you say you're not answering me a question? You just said I'm asking you a question. Now you're saying you're not. Is this dementia? Or what's happening? I said this is my source to the story. Yeah. Yeah, that's my source to the story.
You got the floor. Go ahead. Show more slides because you need it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I said that's my source to the Greek story. Yes. What about it? I don't believe in it, but that's my source to the Greek version of the story. Yes. How many times do I have to say this over and over again? That's the source to the Greek version. Do I believe in it? No, but that's the source to where everybody is getting their story from. I don't believe in it, but that is the source to the made up story. What about it? What did I ever say it was real?
So now, are we still going, or are we got our audience? Because I'm done with Tahuti. I'm going to show that he said at the beginning of this debate that was his source. And
I don't think you I don't really think you understand what the man is saying, brother. I think we all understand what he said.
Hold on,
you don't understand, Jay.
I don't understand.
Like we all would, like y'all say,
okay,
we don't understand the Bible.
I understand.
You're not understanding what he's telling you. He said that's the source, but he don't believe in that source.
Okay, now
just like he gave you a scenario about Spider-Man. Just like he gave you a scenario about Spider-Man, brother. He got to give the people a source of where he get that from on the Spider-Man book.
Okay.
But that don't mean the shit is true or he believe in it.
Okay.
He's giving you the source and he explained it to you over and over, but it's keep going over your jughead, brother. It's keep going over your head.
Okay, Sarnetta, this man said in the beginning of the goddamn debate.
You still saying this shit, even after I just told you all that.
Sarnetta, I'm out. You can call it what you want. I'm not.
Go ahead. He said what? Go ahead, JJ.
I'm done.
What did he say at the beginning?
You know what goddamn he said? He said this is his source. He used this source in our first conversation, and he has nothing outside of this source to prove Greeks did anything. So what he tried to do at the beginning, say this was his source, and now he tried to flip the script, just like he tried to flip the script when I caught his ass about the Council of Alexandria in 231 AD. You don't know history. Then you try to change it to a library that ain't even real. You can't prove that the Library of Alexandria is real, and you know it. Show it to us right now. You pulled everything else up. Pull us the proof that the Library of Alexandria is real, and I'll send you $500. I bet you can.
JJ,
Other than that, I'm done.
You gotta run. You must
done.
run. You have to run. You have to.
I don't have to run. The debate over. All right, well, show the source, Tahuti. We can go another round, bro.
I do not believe in the letter of Aristides. I do not believe in the letter of Aristides, but it is, but it is the source.
What do you got?
To the silly Greek story. That's where everybody's. That's where everybody's getting it from.
What do you
I don't believe in that letter. Sonetta, how many times do I have to say? I don't. What's happening?
So why you use the letter then, Tahuti?
To show where people got the story from.
Do you got somebody outside the letters, Tahuti?
To show where
I'm done. I'm ready to go.
To show where people even got the idea that ancient Hebrew books were translated into Greek. That whole thought process comes from that letter. The reason why you believe it, believe it was translated. Right, but there's no story outside that letter that says that any group of Hebrews translated anything.
Okay, now let me speak. And there's no story showing that the goddamn Greeks translated. At least I came with showing you. Be quiet, bro. Be quiet, Spider-Man. I showed you the paper trail of how this language was transmitted and shared and passed down. What did you show, Tahuti? You didn't show a damn thing. All you did was try to attack something, but you didn't bring no kind of proof, at least I addressed what you said, and I brought some kind of proof showing how the information was passed down. What did you bring, Tahuti? You brought a fake ass letter. You brought a fake ass Council of Alexandria, and you didn't bring that one Greek scribe, one Greek scholar. Nothing's proven that they translated this Hebrew into Greek. Now, if you can show me that right now, I'll say you won this goddamn debate.
Okay. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done?
No,
Are you done?
And then
you asking me a question. You're still talking?
I'm not done, man. Because you got your ass whooped in this because you didn't prove shit. You try to build a lie on top of a lie with your fake ass letter. And then you want to try to put it on me, talking about I believe it. I never said I believe it. You said in the beginning of the goddamn debate, that's your source. And I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, brother, please, the Gish Gallop. You're gonna keep talking, then you're gonna.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want to hear you no more.
That's your method. You talk, and then run, cause chaos, and then zoom and disappear. This is your method. I am asking you a question, simple question. Where do you even get the idea that there was a translation? Where does the idea in history even come about that anybody translated anything? It only comes from that letter. There's no ancient history. There's no ancient history stating that anybody translated anything. It only comes from that letter. There's nobody saying that any Jews went translated.
JJ has been a bad boy. I had to put him in the back chat.
Oh, he's not here? Oh.
No, I put him in the back. He has been a bad boy. He always being bad. He did a good debate, but then he ends up going crazy. Peace and black power, man. What's your name, man? What's up, man? We're going to close this thing out.
Okay, yeah.
Did I hear Brother Tahuti say that Constantine is the father of Christianity?
Tahuti.
Hello?
Yes. Black Jesus asked you a question.
Yes, modern day Christianity and its canon goes back to Constantine.
Okay, now you are the original Christians.
Say that again, Black Jesus.
Who are the original Christians? Now you say Constantine is the father of modern Christianity. Who is the father of the original Christianity? What people and what person?
The first time Christianity is mentioned in the Bible is in the book of Acts as a mockery word, but Christians in ancient times were the followers of Serapis.
And Black Jesus, you do know that you're a convert, right?
Hold on for a second, man. Stop.
The original Christians.
No, brother. Hold on, bro. Brother Tahuti, the Catholics and Constantine, yes, they would be the originators of Western modern Christianity. But the originators of the first Christians was not no worship of no damn Serapis, sir. You're sitting up here talking about Serapis, and you embarrass yourself in the entire dumbass conscious community in dumbassiness and with no scholarship and no education. And then you got educated people who sit up here and lie all damn day.
Now, you know, JJ just called his big brother to come in. JJ called his big brother.
Just insults. That's all they can, emotional insults.
And I finish though, sir.
Yes, but no insults though, brother. Just finish without the insult.
No problem. Well, let me just answer to you real quick, Tahuti. The Israelites were the first Christians and the followers of Christ. And then the first church, brother, was not no followers of no Serapis, bro. The first church was the Coptic Christians of 33 AD or 39 AD in Egypt and Ethiopia. Okay? That is the first worldwide church. Okay?
All right.
Now,
hey, Jesus, I'm glad I got you in here, and I'm glad you're not debating. So now I can ask you a question. The God of the Bible, Black Jesus, the God of the Bible, would you say the God of your Bible and the God that you worship knows everything, the ins and outs of everything in life? Would you say yes or no to that?
Let Tahuti answer my question first, or no?
All right.
Okay, Black Jesus Minister. Peace, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Brother, he heard your question. Let him answer it now.
Yeah, we're from, unless I missed something, we're discussing the first Christians, and you said they were Jews, and I'm open to it. I'm open. I just like I asked vocab, I just want to know if I can get any ancient documents in the time of Christ from a Hebrew saying that they believed in Jesus during the time that he was alive.
All right. Well, do you know of the African Coptic Church that began around 39 AD, and the Coptic Church still exists today? That they were the first Christians and the first popes. Their leaders were called popes, and the Catholic Church copied their liturgy and their whole everything from the Coptics. Do you agree to that, sir? Yes or no?
Do I agree with everything you said? There's a lot of gish gallop, so some of the things you said were correct. I'm still wanting to know from a Hebrew standpoint, an indigenous person, if there's any Hebrew that ever said he believed in Jesus during Jesus's lifetime.
Well, that's fine, brother. We'll talk about that. But again, brother, the African Coptic Church are the first and original Christians and first original church before Constantine, almost 300 years before Constantine became a Christian, brother. We'll talk about that in the future.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. All right, hey, Tahuti, thank you, brother. We out, but let me get to Black Jesus Minister. I want to talk to brother. If he ain't going to run from me like he did yesterday, now he's not debating. Thank you. Black Jesus Minister, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
All right. The God that you serve, the God that you worship is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, correct? Knows everything, the ins and outs of this universe. He knows before you came out of the womb. He knew what you was going to be, what you're doing now. He knows all of that. Do you agree with me?
That's the book, brother. That's the book.
Okay, so when he created Adam and Eve, would it be fair to say, knowing that God knows everything, he know that the serpent was going to try to fool Adam and Eve that bite the fruit? Would it be fair to say that God have entrapped Adam and Eve and fooled them because he knew that they will eat it? He put them in that situation. So would it be fair to say that God have entrapped Adam and Eve and set them up, brother?
No, brother, you're talking gibberish and confusion, bro. You're talking childish. You're talking childish.
Oh,
bro.
my God. You just said that your God knew everything, brother. So he knew that the snake was going to come in there and convince them to bite the fruit. Now you're saying no. What are you talking about, Jesus?
Your question here, man. You laughing and cutting me off and everything.
Go ahead, brother.
You haven't heard me say nothing. You laugh. Except the funny stuff.
Go ahead,
all right, brother. Again, bro. I know we keep going over this a million times, but I don't know when you babies. You grown ass 40, 50, 60-year-old goddamn baby.
That's because your book is a baby.
Let me finish talking, bro. Excuse me, bro. You gonna keep asking me this? Never seen a goddamn Bible in your life? Ain't never stepped on a church ground? You know what I'm saying? Okay. These baby-fied ass questions, and they go along with common sense. It's free will, man. God knows everything.
You said baby questions, but you're the one walking around teaching people that there was a goddamn talking donkey, that Balaam and the talking donkey had a conversation. Then you said the snake was real and it was a talking damn snake, and him and Eve and Adam and all three of these motherfuckers are having a conversation, but you calling somebody a baby and you believing in this shit. You are the baby. I would say each and every one of you who believe in this fairy tale are really the babies, brother. You are the babies.
Okay, well, hold on.
Because you just like a baby that believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, all of this shit. You believe in that.
Okay, now, and you thought that the Bible was a fairy tale and that I was a baby, that snakes had legs. You've been laughing about that for 3 years, 2 or 3 years when you first heard me say that. Haven't you, son?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and I showed your little innocent goofy behind last night that the National Geographic and paleontologists have found that I showed you all the fossil of a snake with legs. Now, brother, are you going to take back all that laughing now, brother? Do I sound like a child now, brother, that I have shown you the science that snakes have legs? Okay? Bruh, stop it, man. Okay, you're the one who's goddamn ignorant, not me. Okay, and every last one of you nutbag ignorant brothers and sisters with y'all stupid asses who don't know a goddamn thing when it comes to this Bible. Okay, and Sister Nepal is one of them. You're a baby.
So why are you scared to challenge her for the title? Why are you scared to challenge her for the title?
Let's go. Give me 10,000 subscribers. Give me 10,000. Tell the people I need 10,000.
Brother, we ain't doing that. We ain't playing that game, brother. We ain't playing that game. What you doing is running. Everybody hear you running. Hold up, y'all. Look in the chat. With a show of hands, y'all. Press 1 if you think Black Jesus Minister is running from Nepal for the title. Press 1.
Hey, y'all.
Press 1 if y'all think that Black Jesus is running.
She debated Nepal, bro, and she lost, bro. She lost. And you sit up there, gonna sit up there the same.
So if she lost, then why don't you go ahead and take the title before the world? Show the people.
Okay, you know what, brother? Because I need to be compensated.
And guess what? I'm not going to be the moderator. I'm going to get somebody else to step in. I might let Tahuti come in and moderate. I'll let Tahuti moderate.
All right. Well, look here, bro. I love your platform. I love the people. But the people got to show Black Jesus Minister some love, Sarnetta. Okay? I have garnered HOK hundreds of thousands of views, if not 1 million views by now. Okay? And HOK is profiting off of the views and the laughs and the comedy and the intelligence and the debates that I bring to this platform, bro. So I'm asking.
So I'm gonna ask you this. I'll tell you what. We will give you them 10,000 views tomorrow if you answer this question. What language? What language did the snake speak in? Was it Hebrew? What was the language that the snake spoke in?
Bro. Nobody knows what language.
What the fuck? All right. What language did the donkey speak then, brother?
No, stop.
Because Bilal was there. He had a conversation. Hold on. He had a conversation with the people.
I want you to stop for a minute, bro, please. Because now you just getting more childish. And
no, I'm not, brother. It's a question, brother.
Let me finish talking, bro. You just
notice this is what they do, Tahuti. When you ask a question and they can't answer it, oh, brother, you getting childish. No, it's not. It's a question. You said that the damn donkey was talking to Bilal. So now I'm asking you, what language was he speaking in? That's all.
And
how was that a childish language?
And you know what they have to say? They have to say Hebrew, because if Bilal spoke Hebrew and the donkey was talking to him and Bilal understood it, then the donkey spoke Hebrew. If Adam and Eve spoke Hebrew and the snake was talking to them, that means the snake was speaking Hebrew, a language they knew. But they can't say that.
Well, let me ask Jesus. Jesus, what language was Adam and Eve speaking?
What you need to be doing right about now, you need to be asking Nepal why she running around here teaching that we all started off as women, that we was all women when we came into this world, brother. Why are you letting your wife get away with that, brother?
Nepal was 100% correct when she said it starts off. She said it starts off female, and then it continues to come on, man. Don't try to change it on Nepal. Don't try to blame it on Nepal, brother. We talking. Now you're running. Now you're running.
Hold on, brother. I don't blame it all on Nepal. She's trying to be niggerish bullcrap.
Believe me, she's not trying to be no polite, brother. Nepal is her own researcher. Nepal is her researcher, and that's why you're afraid to challenge her.
Women, hold on. The next thing she's gonna be saying is that women used to have babies without men. That's the next thing she's gonna be saying. Watch. Just like these nutbag conscious community people believe. Look here, man. Nepal lost that debate, and she lost it bad.
Well, you believe that God took a rib out of Adam and formed Eve. You believe that?
And you was laughing at the snake that had legs, and I proved it last night. So why are you still laughing? And I proved that Noah's Ark is on the Mount Ararat. I proved that last year. So why are you still laughing? Bruh, stop it, man. Y'all need to stop all this goddamn dumb, ignorant lying, bro.
All right, man. We done, man. We done. Hey, step up in the ring, brother. That's all. When you ready, you get ready tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow at 2:00, brother. Peace.
2:00. Peace.
Hey, Tahuti, go ahead and close out. JJ left. You can close out and we out. We done.
Okay, peace and love, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the debate. I don't know if the moderators are doing the press 1. For me, press 2 for JJ, but that would be great. I appreciate everybody. I
Press 1 for Tahuti. Press 2 for JJ, y'all.
Yes, I appreciate always being here. It's fun. It's educational. It's good to hear all these crazy views and just hear where people are coming from. Peace and love, everybody. Check me out every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific on the Tahuti Pod class on YouTube. Check me out when I come here to Sonnetter TV. If Sonnetter has a Cash App and he puts it in the room, support the channel. I've been personally watching Sonnetter unpublicly, just kind of watching him from, because I've been in the circle for decades, when he was a guy in a fatigue suit on the streets. There wasn't any internet. I just remember him screaming on the street. There was a table and he had some shades on. He looked like a Green Beret. So he's been around for a while. So
thank you, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, support the brother for giving you this content every day. So yes, so peace and love, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the debate.
Yes, and go on over there and check out my brother Tahuti and support him as well. I see we got my sister, Sister Wise in the building. Shout out to Sister Wise. She gave Nepal her first debate over here at the House of Consciousness.
Who did?
Sister Wise, and that was a great debate between them two sisters.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that was great. Them two, they started off like this, but they ended up like this. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's up. I love that. Yeah,
that is good. That is good. And yeah, if Black Jesus Minister ever, I don't even know. No, you know, I don't want to go downwards. But peace and love to everybody.
Peace, brother.
And see you next time. I'll be watching. And Sonnetters, this is great. Keep this up.
Yo, you know tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
You know who's tomorrow, right?
Everybody. So tomorrow's the preliminary. Was today supposed to be the preliminary for Chris?
No, but y'all was today, so I couldn't do it.
Okay. Everybody tune in. Chris Harris has already called me on it. He has great respect for me as a debater, and I told him what I had to tell him, and he's going to win this with a landslide. I think Zion Lex has a lot of information as well. There it is on the screen. Everybody tune in. For those who like fiery debates, you're going to love this more than you love me debate. I'm more of a calm debater, but this is fire and fire right here. It's going to be a lot of... Sonnetter may need I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to be good. I got this, brother. Thank you, brother Tahuti. We out.
Yes. Peace and love. Peace, Sonnetter. Peace. Peace.
All right. All right, family, man. You already see what it is.